Warm greetings from the High 10. It is Everyday Shenanigans, and thanks for joining me. I posted a video the other day pertaining to the dark web and sexual offenders who are women. And I wanted to discuss women offenders, deviant crimes enacted by women, and the fact that a lot of women who engage in rape, sexual molestation of children, underage children, usually receive lesser time. And is it fair that the women, get lesser time than those of men? You know, in our country, in our world, everything is weighed upon a man and a woman and what he did and she did. And you see the difference between how women are treated versus how a man is treated. And it is then evident that men get more time in prison for deviant crimes, basic crimes, versus a woman committing a crime. And it has been seen that women get lesser time for child molestation and rape of a child. And I want you all to weigh in tonight on how do you feel about women getting lesser time than men. I'm going to bring you information from one of the most famous stories ever known in history about a woman who raped a child, because it is considered rape to have sex with an underage child, a child under the age of 18. It is sex. It does not matter if she liked you or not, if he or she came on to you. They were the first to make a pass, say something sexually overt. It does not matter. The law says you have no business as an adult to partake in any type of sexual activity, sexual talk, be it letters, texts, with an underage child under the age of 18. And although teen is connected to the word 18, they still deem 18 as a official age to do things such as get an apartment, get a driver's license. Of course, naturally, you can get a driver's license in some states at 16. Just depends on the state that you're in. But most things you can do at 18. You can vote at the age of 18 in most American states. But when it comes to sexual relations with a child under 18 is deemed deviant and heinous behavior and felonious. Thank you all for joining me. Hello, everybody. Callie Calm, how you doing? Hello, Night Owl. Hi. Thank you all. I've got 15 viewing. I'm going to go ahead and get started so I don't hold you long. This is a biography on Mary Kay Letourneau. Most of you heard of Mary Kay. She was a very infamous figure in our American culture at one time for sleeping with her students. And I'm going to bring you the said biography on Kay Letourneau and the update pertaining to the young male who is now a grown man and what he has been doing with himself. And I will bring you a source for each storyline. Biography is the source for the first information. Vili Fualaau, who famously had an affair with his teacher when he was a teen, recalls the last months of her life before she died of cancer in July 2020. This was uploaded October 15, 2020. To the world, Mary Kay Letourneau was a sixth grade teacher who began a sexual relationship with student Vili Fualaau when he was only 13 in 1996. But for Letourneau and Fualaau, it was their love story. Their relationship was forbidden by law, yet they had two children, one born in 1997 and the other in 1998, while Fualaau was still a young teen. Letourneau paid the price by serving two prison sentences, the first for 3 months and the second for 7 years. After her release in 2004, she was prohibited from seeing Fualaau, but by then he was 21 and he had the ordinance removed. They married in 2005. After 12 years of marriage, Fualaau filed for separation in 2017, which became official in 2019. But when Letourneau started feeling ill, she reached out to Fualaau by text. She told me that she was feeling a bit sick. Fualaau told Dr. Oz in September 2020. He says she eventually got a colonoscopy, and found out it was cancer that had already spread to her liver. I was in disbelief. I didn't want to believe it, he said in the interview. And so I got on the plane right away and I went out there. Letourneau died on July 6, 2020 at the age of 58 from cancer complications. Less than 3 months later, Fualaau recounted her final days. Letourneau believed a miracle was going to happen. When Fualaau first arrived back by Letourneau's side, she still looked pretty healthy, on the outside, but that didn't last. Within 6 months, her health declined rapidly. Foula remembered it was really just unreal to see her that way. Despite her sudden deterioration, the mother of 6, in addition to her 2 daughters with Foula, Letourneau also had 4 children from her previous marriage to Steve Letourneau, never quite saw herself as close to death. She believed that a miracle was going to happen, Foula said, and that somehow she was going to be healed and it was going to go away. While they did talk about logistics that had to be taken care of if she didn't survive, it wasn't a popular topic of conversation. She didn't want to talk about it, he said. That thought of her dying was just unbelievable for her. She went to the ER with a broken arm and discovered her cancer had spread. In the midst of dealing with the diagnosis, Letourneau fell one day, landing her in the ER with a broken arm. They did a CT scan on her, and they found that the cancer had spread to her spine and to her brain. Foula recounted. They told us that there wasn't much that they could do at this point. And so, the very last weeks of her life, she started to realize that she was going to go, and it was a difficult thing for all of us. That period of knowing what was coming made Foula realize the role she had played in his life. You become best friends, and she was my best friend, and I felt like she was actually the only person that actually cared, he said. It also made him look back on their time together. When we had first met, I was a lot younger, and she was ripped out of my life at that time, Foula told Dr. Oz. This time, there's not going to be another letter, and there's not going to be a phone call or text. Preparing myself mentally for that was the hardest part. The last thing Letourneau told Foula was that he was the most important person to her. As the days passed, Foula sat by Letourneau's side, watching to make sure she was breathing. Sometimes there would be pauses, but she would come back. On July 6th, both his youngest daughter and her youngest daughter from her previous marriage paid her a visit and witnessed her final breath. We were just talking about when they were kids, and we were laughing, and I turned over and I didn't see her chest moving. He recalled. He waited to see if she'd come back and even turned off the breathing machine to see if maybe she was just breathing softly, but he knew. At that moment, I had to tell the kids that they needed to call the rest of the siblings to come and say their goodbyes, that this is it, Foula said. Despite being separated, Foula says Letourneau's roller coaster relationship that played out so publicly still came down to 2 of them. The last thing she told me is that I'm the most important person to her and that everything is going to be okay, he said. Foula admits he used to question Letourneau's intentions. During the interview, Dr. Oz also asked Foula what he'd do if he found himself attracted to a teenager since he's now in his 30s, like Letourneau was. I'd probably go and seek some help, he answered. I couldn't look at a 13-year-old and be attracted to that because it's not in my brain. I mean, we all have our preferences. The host also flipped it and asked how Foula would react if his daughters came home with someone who was 2 decades older. I would react in the same way. Like, what is this guy's intentions, he said, adding that he would dig deeper. What is his history? Who is he? I'd find out a little bit more before actually putting my foot down right away. But also, you would have to know your kid as well. And I would say if my kid came home with someone older, I would be upset. I wouldn't agree with it. And he also admitted that he wondered about Letourneau's intentions too, especially as she became a registered sex offender and labeled a pedophile. I used to question it too, he said, but then he looked at the bigger picture. There was no perversion and there was no history of her having any odd things with other minors. There's nothing I can't say to people that don't care to listen or don't care to learn, but that is my wife and she is my best friend. And we had kids together and we did get married and we had a whole life together. That is the biography of Miss Letourneau. Very wicked story, because if you read that and did not know all the ins and outs of what's going on, you would think perhaps it was a love affair between 2 people. This is by marriedbiography.com. Oh, no, that was by biography. I'm sorry. What is Vili Foula marital status? Divorce. This is by Married Biography. How many children does Vili Fulah have? 2, Audrey and Georgia. Is Vili Fulah having any relationship? Affair? No. Is Vili Fulah gay? No. I don't know why they're asking all this, but this is crazy. This is just a little update on who this young man has become now as a man. Vili Fulah is currently divorced and single. He was previously married to his 6th grade teacher, Mary Kay Letourneau. The teacher-student relationship started becoming sexual in July 1996. When Vili entered the 7th grade, Letourneau became pregnant with his first child in September 1996. On May 23, 1997, she gave birth to their first child, Audrey. In 1998, she got pregnant with her second child. She was sentenced to 7.5 years in prison. In October 1998, she gave birth to their second baby, Georgia, inside the prison. On August 4th, 2004, Mary was released from prison, and the couple exchanged wedding vows on May 20th, 2005, in a winery house located in Washington. They got divorced in May 2017. The reason for the divorce has not been revealed yet. They were in a relationship for more than 20 years and were married for around 12 years. Very interesting information pertaining to these people. This is a background. Talking about his education, he joined Shorewood Elementary School located in Burien, Washington in September 1991. He dropped out of school. He later joined the Academy of Fine Arts. Vili Fulah and Mary Letourneau's controversial love story. It all began in 1996 when Mary became Vili's teacher in the 6th grade. He was 12 at the time. She helped him develop his artistic skills and soon began visiting her house. He even became very close to her eldest son, Steve. Letourneau was a married woman with 4 children at that time. The teacher-student relationship started becoming sexual in July of 1996. The police caught them in a sexual act inside a van and arrested them. However, Fulah told the police he was 18 and they were released. Mary later claimed that she did not know that her sexual relationship with Vili would be considered rape. Vili was the one who wanted to be in a relationship and later admitted that he would make plans beforehand on what to say, what to gift, and what to do with her. When Vili entered the 7th grade, Letourneau became pregnant with his first child in September 1996. A few months later, in February, Mary's husband found their love letters. On March 4th, 1997, she was arrested for second-degree rape and was released on bail. On May 23rd, 1997, a few months later, she gave birth to the first child, Audrey. 3 months later, she pled guilty to child rape in exchange for 3-month sentence instead of a longer one. The judge agreed to release her on the condition that she would never meet Vili again. In February 1998, the police caught them in a vehicle together with some cash, baby clothing, and passport and suspected them of trying to flee away. In the winter of the same year, she got pregnant with her second child. She was sentenced to 7.5 years in prison. In October 1998, she gave birth to their second baby, Georgia, inside the prison. Vili and his mother took care of their child. However, he suffered from depression and even attempted suicide. It was a really hard time for him as he had trouble raising his babies financially and mentally. On August 4th, 2004, Mary was released from prison and the couple got married on May 20th, 2005 in a winery house located in Washington. They got divorced in May 2017. Fulah is a DJ by profession. Other than that, not much is known about his professional life. His net worth is estimated at $355,000. He has not revealed his salary. An average DJ in America earns around $58,000 annually. He cheated on Mary Kay while she was in prison. His mother raised her daughters, and when Mary was in jail, the controversial couple co-authored only one crime, love. Mary's pregnancy was not an accident, but a plan to keep their relationship. Now, they go on to give their height and weight. That's not going to reveal that because it's not really necessary. He is active on social media. He is active on Facebook and Instagram. He has around 4.5 followers on Facebook. Similarly, he has around 2.1 thousand followers on Instagram. You may also like to read the bio, career, net worth, and other such things about DJ Laz, DJ Drama, DJ Kane, and more. That is by Mary Biography. So she only did 3 months in the beginning, Mary Kay Letourneau, for her sex crimes against a child. And then she finds herself back in prison for 7.5 years because she did not follow the guidelines of staying away from this young man. It's a very interesting, baffling, sickening story, however you look at it. because this woman knew better than to partake in any type of sexual activity with a child. 12 years old is young. That's a child. I don't care how you look at it. I don't care if he was 6 feet tall, he was 5'8". He was a child. How he looked, if he had facial hair, he was a child. So you see, this is a crazy story. She became pregnant 1996 with the first child. Husband found letters months later, February. And then in March 1997, she was arrested for second-degree rape and was released on bail. And then months later in May 23rd, 1997, she gave birth. So imagine she was giving birth and was still married to Audrey. 3 months later, she pled guilty to child rape in exchange for 3 months. So that would have been the summer of 97. Then the judge agreed to release her on the condition that she would never meet Billy again. So that's the summer of 97. So now we go into 98, February. The police caught them in a vehicle with some cash, baby clothing, and a passport, as if they were going to flee. She was sentenced to 7.5 years in prison. And in October 98, she gave birth to their second baby, Georgia, inside the prison. And he and his mother took care of the child. This is the craziest story. And I posted that video to my community board to show you that women usually get lesser time in prison for child molestation and rape against a child. As you see, you read this story, one would say this was a love affair. If you did not know that this was actually an adult and a child. And what makes it to some people maybe appear to be a love affair is because with all the up and downs of jail time, 3 months, then 7.5 years, he still waited on Mary Kay. And even in the end, after their marriage had dissolved, he went back to her in her last final days of life to take care of her as she died from cancer. Lord have mercy. This is a very wicked story. I will drop the link so you can give me your commentary pertaining to Mary Kay Letourneau and her relationship with Vili Fualaau, and many women who have not served enough time in jail to many prison for child rape, because it is rape. Doesn't matter. You touched them, kissed them, her, you are liable for partaking in sexual activities with a child. Bottom line. Doesn't matter who said whom to who, what to whom. Doesn't matter if the child looked at you, groped you, sent you a letter, touched you, kissed you first. Doesn't matter. You should know better as the adult. Thank you so much for listening. I will bring you the said information. Hold on just a second so I can drop the link. Hope you all are well today on this Tuesday. Happy April to all of you. Okay. Thanks for joining me. Dropping the link. Hello, everybody in the chat. Gypsy, Dorothy, Dee Dee, Tina, Gypsy, everybody. Hello. Thank you so much. Hit the link if you want to give your commentary pertaining to women getting lesser time in prison for child rape. And as you heard the story of Letourneau and Mr. Ville, one could say it was a great love affair, but you have to tell yourself, come on now, that was a child and a grown up. Doesn't matter what they felt. It was not right if you are to believe in grown-up relations versus grown-up and child relations. I was talking to someone this evening and they were like, well, if I was a boy, I'd be down for sleeping with my teacher. And I said, yes, of course you would. But you also know that it's wrong for you to sleep with your teacher, just like it's wrong for her to partake in sleeping with you, flirting with you, talking to you, carrying you around, or being in your favor for felonious reasons. I don't understand how a grown woman can be attracted to a child anyway, because if I look at a boy, he's a boy. That's why he's called a boy. That's why a boy is a boy and a man is a man. And you can also be a man, 18, older, and look like a child. You can also be a female and be 18 and look like a child, 22, 25, petite in stature, but you favor a child. So one can look at you and be like, it looks like a little girl. No, I'm a grown woman. No, I'm a grown man. So you got to fight just to show that you're an adult. But the flip side is a child. Once they've revealed they are a child, you should not be attracted to he or she. Why would you be? And if you are, then that means there's something wrong with you. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you, Nada, for dropping the link. Hit the link if you want to give your opinion pertaining to women doing less time in prison, jail for sexual rape, molestation of a child. Why does the system judge give less time to women? Is it because it's hard to believe that a woman would actually rape a child? She wouldn't do that. Why would she do that? No. We've seen it time and time again, the women getting lesser time because I guess in the eyes of the judge, jury panel, it's hard to convict a woman of rape of a child. We'll give her probation. We'll give her time served or supervised probation. She'll learn her lesson. But as you see in this case with Letourneau, she did not. When she was supposed to leave this boy alone, she still hooked up with him anyway. 35 viewing. Thank you so much for joining me. I don't understand what can a grown man get from a little girl? What can a grown woman get from a little boy? Yes, well, there are people like that, Dorothy. Attractive friends, but they just boys. They still kids to me. Yes, and that's the point. There was a documentary I watched on Dateline many years ago with a Caucasian lady out in the Midwest, I believe. She took up with her son's friends, and I'm telling you, it ruined her. It ruined her family. She lived in a small town, and once it got out that she had been having sex with this boy, he was coming to her house having sexual relations in her bed. It was the craziest story. I was stunned. And the baffling part is that she's doing an interview with Dateline, so that should tell you something. She was free as a bird. Because they don't like to sentence. People don't like to sentence women for rape of children. It's obvious. Because they can't believe that a woman would rape a child. Why would she? Well, she did. And you let her go. You let her out on bail, bond. It's all the same. But just listening to that woman tell that story about how she had sex with that boy, I was baffled. Because you could see she was enamored with him. And this was her child's schoolmate. So can you imagine when the rumor got out how her child felt to know his homeboy been playing around with his mama and in their house? What about the husband? Shut your mouth, Satan. Craziness. Utter craziness. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you, Wesley. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Thank you so much. God bless you, baby. You really got to be sick in the head and mind to do that. Well, it happens every day. And that's the thing people don't understand. You know, to some guys, the mindset, it's a joke. Hey, I wouldn't mind knocking off my teacher, an older lady, you know, fascination. But like I told someone tonight, it's still vile behavior. Doesn't matter if you think it's okay to sleep with your teacher as a young boy. It's still wrong. And it's wrong for her to reciprocate. Doesn't matter if you walk up to her and tell her she's a pretty lady. Now you want to touch her hair or touch her arm. It is for her to say to you, stop that. This will not be tolerated. And she needs to alert somebody because things can jump off at a given moment. Who's to say he don't try to attack her, rape her? You see, that's why you have to record and report everything that happens. Anything that seems disingenuous, either from the child or the adult, it needs to be reported because you don't know how it's going to pan out in the end. And as you see, we have cult-like behavior in our society where people ride the ride with crazy nonsense. You know, no, he wouldn't do that. He wouldn't rape a little girl. No, she wouldn't do that. She wouldn't rape a little boy. You have crazy, sick people who don't want to believe it because they think they know that person. As you have seen from being on YT, you can't put faith in people you do not know. There's no such thing as knowing someone. We are all flawed and we're all sinners. We may not be rapists or murderers, but we are flawed indeed. Yes, Dorothy, I understand. Well, you see, he said to Dr. Phil, I might need to try to catch that interview. He felt, he was worried about her intentions, curious about her intentions. But you see, he also bragged to say, or took up for her to say, oh, well, she didn't have any other offenses with children. She didn't mess with other minors. But how do you know what she's done? Just because a person didn't get caught or arrested doesn't mean they have not tried to make sexual advances toward another child. She should have received way more time because she was in a position. Yes, Nene, exactly. Please hit the link to give me your opinion on the said situation. Hello, how are you?
I'm doing well, and you?
Well, I've had better days, but I'm here, baby. Thank you.
Oh, okay. I definitely understand that one. The topic about the female predators,
Mm-hmm.
because that's what they are. Should they receive more time? Absolutely. Matter of fact,
Maybe
they deserve.
that should have been the title instead of what I put. That was a good title. I might have to change that. I'm
Yes,
sorry.
ma'am. They definitely deserve the same amount of time or more. I think all pedophiles deserve life in prison.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Point blank. First time, life in prison. No
Okay.
if, and, no buts, no, we gonna think about it, no
Mm-hmm.
nothing. Because I was a kid when the story came out about Mary Kay, and
Mm-hmm.
what I despise the most is they glorified pedophilia. And see, this is the thing what people don't get.
Because
Just
she's a
because it's
woman.
a
You think because she's
woman,
a woman?
yeah, and that, well, I want to say something else, but I'm gonna leave it like this. Had she been a melanated woman, she would have been
Oh
executed.
Lord.
But she was a Caucasian woman, and it was glorified. Who gives interviews to known admitted pedophiles?
But
The
people,
media
anytime it's a
glorified.
story,
Hi.
anytime it's a story. Hi,
I don't
where
know
you
how I got
from?
on here. I'm
Yes,
just
just
still
wait a minute,
trying to
baby.
learn this.
Let Miss Night Owl speak, and then I'll let you speak. Okay, baby.
I don't hear any of you.
You can't hear me?
Hey,
Hello?
Daddy, can you hear us?
What the hell is going on?
Well, we can hear you. We can see you. I can
We can
see
hear
you.
you.
Hey, Aquarius. I don't know if your name is the Tit or Dadit. Hello?
You guys, I have no idea if you can see me. I have no
I can.
idea how to
I
work
can see you.
this.
Let me put this in the chat so she can see. I don't know.
I can't even hear anyone.
You can't hear anyone? Turn your
I'm gonna
microphone
tell
on, baby. Look in the chat. I can hear and see you. Okay, go ahead and finish that out.
Oh, okay. And they gave them all this press coverage like this was some type of love story where two people fell in love on a cruise ship in the middle of the Bahamas. And I'm thinking to myself, y'all do know she's a pedophile. She's a sexual deviant. She's a predator.
You talking
And
about Mary Kay?
yes, Mary Kay.
What are you talking about? Cruise ship.
Okay, let me repeat it. I said the media portrayed it as if this was two people on a cruise ship that fell
Okay.
in love in the Bahamas,
I got
and it was a whirlwind love
you.
affair.
Like
No,
they
this
met.
was
Yeah,
a
I got you. Okay,
sexual
I got you. Okay.
deviant. This was a predator. This is a predator that had a family, had 4 kids, abandoned them for this child.
Mm-hmm.
He was younger than her kids.
Mm-hmm.
And she left her husband and her family for this child. What I'm also was clueless about and angered about is his family didn't do more for her to get more prison time. It was just like, oh well, okay, we gonna keep these kids, and I'm like, what? Y'all didn't rally for her to get more
Well,
prison
you know
time?
they're gonna keep them kids. 'Cause that's her son's child. She love her son. You knew that. I love you, I'ma keep my grandbaby, no matter who who the little girl. Excuse me, who the female was.
Yeah, I mean, but when they first found out their son had been attacked, they should have rallied for their DA to give her years upon years upon years. It shouldn't have been a second, third chance on bail or anything like that. Because who's to say she wouldn't do that to another child? I wouldn't
Yeah,
trust her
that's
with a
what was weird. But see, that's what was sickening was that the act itself was already bad, sick. But when you got out from your 3-month sentence, you still went and looked that little boy up and hooked up and got caught in that van or whatever. I just thought, man, this woman's crazy. Because I vaguely remembered, the case and because it's been a long, long time ago. That's 96, it's been a long time ago.
Right.
But just the fact that you went back, you're supposed to learn your lesson. You got 3 months in jail. That's nothing for raping the child. It's child rape. Like I said, it doesn't matter who said what to whom. It doesn't matter if the child came on to you. You are the adult, because a lot of people like to blame children, and I don't like bringing up that certain case of R. Kelly, but it's the truth. That's why I said you wrong to say it. It doesn't matter if it's a male or a female, they're a child. It doesn't matter if the child makes a pass. They're human. It doesn't matter if he look at his teacher that way. He's a child, and you are supposed to know better.
And what people
supposed to know better
better wake up and realize is that the pedos for years have been trying to get a law passed. You can Google it, where that it's not considered a crime. They say they born like that, it's normal, it's natural, and all of that. And I'm like, people better wake up and stop being distracted, because we hear more and more stories like this. Any case involving a woman, any teachers we've seen in the past, they're usually blonde and all that. They don't get jail time for these acts. Most time they get probation.
Okay.
Sometimes I don't even think they be labeled as sex offenders, and they are definitely sex offenders.
Yes. So
they
let's
are
that you brought that up. You feel that because most of these cases we have seen with Caucasian women that we know of, you feel like that Caucasian women get less time than if they were African American or a brown skinned woman.
Of course.
Okay.
Of course. If that lady was melanated that first go round, she'll still be in prison. Rightfully so.
Okay.
Anybody that harms a child, she destroyed that young man's life. People want to know why that young man went through depression. She took his childhood. He never been from the time they first met all the way up to now. He hasn't had a childhood. He went from just thrown in the spotlight, unfortunately, to becoming a dad of 2 kids, and he was a kid himself.
Right.
Till finally, when he got old enough to recognize that it was not what he thought it should be,
Right.
well, by that time, she done got old and decrepit.
Mm-hmm.
And he left her because they did an interview with Barbara Walters. And you could tell he was very still uncomfortable. And I don't think he's been
Uncomfortable.
comfortable
What you mean uncomfortable?
with the fact, the way that it was worded. They were using words like calling her a predator, saying that she was like the R word. And you could just tell that they were distant. They did this interview a few years ago, right before they divorced.
Okay.
And you could just tell he was kind of detached from the situation. And shortly after they announced separation and divorce, of course, he wouldn't want nobody looking at his kids. Don't you find it ironic that all predators think it's okay when they do it, but if they have kids, they don't want nobody to do it to their kids?
Right. Well, you see, he said that, and he's a child, though, so he can say that. I'm not attracted to girls. I would find a problem if my little girl children came home talking about they were attracted to an older man or older woman. Man was attracted to them. But see, his mindset was warped. But that's the point. He was a child. So that's what Dr. Phil has always said about being a child. When horrible things happen to children, you frame their mindset with the things you do to them. Perhaps they would think differently, act differently, had this, and this didn't happen to them. That's for everybody. You are framed by how people treat you, how you act, how you respond, if you pop off, if you get angry easily. All that is formed from childhood. Everything.
Hi, you guys.
How you doing?
Hey,
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
good.
I'm sorry, I'm joining so late. I just got off of work.
Oh, that's okay.
Who are we talking? Who are we talking about?
We're just talking about women predators in general, sweetheart.
Oh, okay.
But I gave Latorno as an example, since that was an infamous case.
Who was it?
Mary Kay Latorno.
Oh, I don't know who that is. Okay, but I think I got the gist of
Well,
it. So
you might want to go to my community post. I posted a video.
Predators.
Listen, I posted a video the other night on the dark web and women who have been engaged in sexual activity with the younger boys underage, such as students. So that's what gave me the idea for the video.
Oh, okay.
So you don't even know what we're talking about? Is that what you're saying?
No, yeah, I'm sorry. I was just trying to grab you on live, and that was it. Because
so you got in the box and didn't know what we were talking about.
Yeah, I'm like, hello, and then whatever. But I think I got a little bit of a gist of it. So are we talking about like men versus women on that stance? Like if it's a man doing it, with a younger girl,
no,
versus a female.
It is about women predators.
Okay. Yeah, I think they should all be. It just should all be on a standard, right? They should be looked at on the same.
Not Al, you were saying?
Yes, definitely. She definitely deserved the label of what she was, and that was a pervert. She was a pervert. And I'm inclined to believe she had these thoughts all of her life and just acted on it with him. Because I don't think she just saw him one day and he drunk all his milk and she was just all in love. No, it was something there probably for years.
Okay.
And no one ever paid attention to maybe she needs to get some help.
Okay.
But they deserve to be, I know in some states, Alabama, they castrate pedophiles. They passed the law. And I'm agreeing with that.
Okay.
They all need to be thrown up in a jail cell and locked up and put away so they won't harm and hurt any more kids. Because
Okay.
people have no idea what the children of these perverts go through. Even if
Yes.
it's a woman, some go through worse with it being a woman because you got to remember they have a mother. How did this young man look at his mother after this pervert harmed him? And for the mother, it's like they were kind of nonchalant about it, which was even more scarier.
Mm-hmm.
There's nowhere in the world my child would have married their uh sex offender. I don't care if they was 102. No,
Mm-hmm.
because to me, she brainwashed him.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, women have a way about them that's more dangerous than what the man can do.
Okay.
Because you see a woman and you think, oh, she's nice, she's a school teacher. We bring her apples every day, and little be known she's a sex offender. And then when they go to court and shed a tear or two and get the community, you have more support for women offenders than men. And
Mm-hmm.
all of it still. That's why I think they get less jail time and they definitely deserve the same amount of time, if not more. She was in a position of power.
Yes, she was.
How many
Yes.
more kids could she have done this to? And it's
Yes.
not just little boys they do it to, they also do it
Yes.
to little girls.
Yes. Yes.
I have no room and no sympathy, empathy, or nothing for perverts.
Yes.
Nothing. Because if you know you haven't thoughts about kids, get you some help.
Yes.
Get you some help. Tell them to
Agree.
lock you up in jail.
I
Just
agree.
lock you up so that you won't harm that child. And if something happened to you, get you some help.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
kids can't do no more than what you allow them to. And this
Yeah.
young man had no understanding of nothing of what was going on at 12 years old. Yes,
Yeah.
this my
12.
teacher.
12.
This man
I mean,
didn't know nothing.
he was a baby, 12 years old. I mean, come on.
He wasn't even, you know, developed nothing to be. Then she went on to trap him with a baby. She trapped him. She was the worst kind of offender because she
Mm-hmm.
wanted kids with
Yeah.
her
Mm-hmm.
victim. Well, I
Right.
like to call them survivors, but she
Yes.
went
Yes.
on and then she didn't stop at one. She went and had two.
Yes. Yes.
And
Yes.
to talk about, oh, he cheated on her.
Mm-hmm.
What? This
Right.
was a kid. So imagine all the things he had to go through as a kid. He never lived life, no prom, no nothing. Because he
Yeah.
was this old bat.
Mm-hmm.
And although some may look at it as a notch on a belt, got to remember each year he get older, she got older.
Mm-hmm.
And then I always wondered, reality must have set in that we have nothing in common because he was a baby. What do you have in common with a 12-year-old? People that have kids don't have nothing in common with their kids about, yeah, I want to go and listen to Wop Wop and Do Bop with my kids. Come on
Mm-hmm.
now. No, he barely is doing fractions. And you want to sleep with him?
Right.
So what did I mean? What we doing? Drinking chocolate milk all night? I couldn't imagine. Eating pizza all day and cheese balls? No. And she knew she was wrong for taking his life from him. So yeah, of course I'm gonna call him when I'm on my deathbed and tell him still he the most important person. To me, that was a form of control.
Okay.
She was a pervert. And the media is wrong for giving her a platform. They ain't not giving me platforms that's perverts. They ain't down to the jail. There's plenty of them in there. But because she was a woman, is why she got it. The American teacher. No, she was the American pervert.
Okay.
Because once you normalize it, you give all these other perverts a chance. Women to say, oh, well, it's okay. He in the 8th grade. Oh, it's okay. He in the 9th grade. Oh, it's okay. Horrendous. To
Yes.
me, it's up there like murder. Because you kill them. You kill a part of them. So that's my rant on it. I just like this topic is very personal.
Okay. Is there a reason why it's personal?
Because I'm a survivor of assault.
Okay.
Because I'm a survivor of incest with grown people.
Okay.
So when I tell you it kills you, it kills you, and it takes survivors a long time, if ever, to rebuild their life. It takes survivors to go through a whole lot of process to make sure they don't become the very thing that destroyed them. I've been exposed by grown men that were like friends of family, family members, and things of that nature. And I was a little girl. And so when you hear that it's normal, that's why I said pedophiles try to normalize this sick behavior. It's a perversion. They pervert it. They pervert it. They don't care in that moment who you are or what you are, who you some kin to, how long they know you. So that's why I know something up in their mind ain't set right and they need help before they act on it. Because if they don't act on it with you, they will somebody else. They will. Because it's only so long perverts hold that in. They have to.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes they never stop.
Yes.
So in my case, they went to jail because they never stopped.
Right.
But then, fortunately, somebody stops them. And I like for them to, as I say, to be in general population.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a very hard thing to overcome and be depressed about. We have triggers. I have a lot of triggers. But I learned over the years through therapy how to, handle those triggers. But I'm very protective of kids. Anything dealing with some kid and you run around here telling me something happened to you it too, I have no regards for that because it's help out here. More help than when it was when I was coming up. Get you some help. Go online. Get you some help. Tell them people to lock you up, tie your arms and your whole body up into the mummy wrap, and just lay there.
Mm-hmm.
Because anybody that ever defends a pervert to me gets nothing from me. And people do defend perverts. Like they defended this pervert, Mary Kay. She was a pervert. So that's
Okay.
my rant. I'm going to drop back down in the chat for you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for speaking.
You're welcome. Have a great evening.
You too, baby. Hello, Og. How you doing? Thanks for joining us. I don't know if she had to register as sexual offender. That the bios that I just read didn't say that she had, so I'm not sure, sweetheart. I would think she would. But most of you know, if you actually follow true crime, the deviant behavior such as child molestation, rape, serial killing is the one behavior that is hard to change. It has been proven. It has been said by the offender, I won't change. If you let me out of here, which is jail, prison, I will reoffend. I will kill. I will torture. I will molest. I will rape, and I will kill. And that has been said by many sexual predators. And it has been proven. It is the one deviant behavior that is hard to change. The mindset of a sexual predator, killer. I don't want to put killing in this, but you understand what I'm saying. Just saying, it's just a hard behavior to change. Anything dealing with rape, sodomy, all the same. Child molestation. Hello, Olivia. How you doing? Hit the link. Thank you all for joining me. So appreciative you all joining in. I got just a few little people in here, but that's fine. Thank you so much. Oh, mercy. It's just a lot going on. Yes, a lot of women, I'm sure, have assaulted children, been arrested, and they did not get the time that a man would get for raping a child. And I do feel that girl childs get the worst of the brunt of the nasty commentary. She wanted it. She's fast. She hot in the tail. She's flirtatious. She been out there. She in the street. She been having sex. She wayward. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. She's still a child. She has the mind of a child. I don't care if she is sexually overt, sexually active. It has been proven once again, 1,000 times over, that most young people who are active in sex, especially girls, girl childs, they have been tainted, they have been molested, touched, groped. So naturally, they do what is natural. They gravitate towards sex because somebody made them think that sex was the thing to do. You keep touching a little girl, groping her, doing unsavory, felonious things to her, sexual deviances. What is she supposed to think? Same thing with a boy child. It's all the same. It's all the same. Okay, Gypsy, be careful. It's all the same. You can't think you can touch a child. He or she would be normal after that. Because there's nothing normal about touching a child sexually. Period. Doesn't matter. So you've now changed the dynamics of a child's being because you've been touching he or she. So now you've messed with their mindset. And the sad part of that is they have the propensity to also offend another child from what they learned from what you did to them. And we have to also pray that when they become 18 or over, they will not become a sexual predator themselves. Because most sexual predators were raped and molested. It's been proven. Sad, very sad. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you, Night Owl. It's very, very sad. Hello, Air Force. Air Force, you got something you want to say, honey? Want to join us? Beautiful day in the high 10. God is good. Amen. Beautiful day. Hello, Melissa. Thanks for joining us. Even some children that are very young that are messed with touch themselves inappropriately in class and have no clue what is wrong. Yes, it's sad to say. I'm kind of interested why you mentioned that, Miss Melissa. But indeed, you're right. This is why we have sexual predators, is because they were tainted as children. It is not to excuse their behavior in any way, but many statistics show that sexual offenders were molested as children, were raped as children. So you have someone raping you, touching you. Now, that's all you know. It's all you think about. It's not that you want to think about it. Why would you think about something you didn't know anything about? And now you're grown and you're now touching young children because it's what was taught to you, done to you. Yes, they are scared to tell. Yes, indeed. Hi, Melissa. Thanks for joining us, baby. Thanks for joining me. They don't give much time for that either, Melissa. Phew. Don't let me get started about that here in the South. String a dog up, get a bond, that's it. Sad. Very, very sad. Yes, and I meant to mention that. Air Force, like minds think alike. So glad you mentioned that because I meant to say that while Night Owl was talking. That when we were speaking about him defending Mary Kay, when Night Owl was saying he seemed like he got offended by the things that they were saying about her during the interview. Yes, it's like Stockholm Syndrome. You lied with this person day for day, this abuser, your torturer, raper. This person's raping you, saying nasty things to you, holding you hostage, whatever. You have now decided to identify with the same person who's holding you hostage, molesting you, mistreating you. It's all the same. It is a dirty mind game to identify with your captor, molester, rapist. Amen. But you understand what I'm saying? It happens. And I'm so glad Air Force One mentioned that because I was thinking that while Night Owl was speaking, I didn't want to interrupt her, but that was on my mind when she was saying how he defended her. He felt some type of way. But then when you read this article that I brought to you, he said, I often wondered what her intentions were. Very interesting. Dorothy says, me and my brother were messed with by our grandfather. My brother grew up with the same thing that happened to him. Dorothy, what are you saying, baby? Said I have to hear that again, sweetheart. A lot of children have been molested. We know this. You don't have to tell your business, but it's just a known fact. We have a lot of sick people out here. That's why I'm saying that most people who molest were molested. That's why they're doing it. Doesn't mean it's right. But the stats show if you were to talk to a rapist, a child offender, he, she were touched. The average molester was molested. The average rapist was molested. The average serial killer was molested. So that just shows you that you have a lot of sick people walking around near no better than the rapist and the serial killer or the child molester. Let's keep it real. Very, very sick. And then we judge the child molester, of course. Oh, why are you doing that? You're wrong. The hell's wrong with you? Touching a child. But we don't sit and think, hey, he, she was also touched as a child. Hello.
Hey, Queen.
Hi, baby.
Hey, I was saying,
How you doing?
I'm doing okay.
That's
Hanging
good.
in there.
Amen, amen. I want to hear some good news. Look, Queen need to hear some good news right now.
That's the best I can give you for now.
Okay, yeah. Well, pray for me too, baby. Pray for the Queen
I
too.
definitely got you.
Okay, thank you. Amen.
So, this is a touchy, sensitive topic
Yes,
for me.
yes,
But I'm
yes,
glad
indeed.
that you're talking about it. Because
Yes,
it's a
ma'am.
taboo
Yes,
issue.
ma'am. Yes. You know, I give you what the other mothers can't give you.
I don't want them to give it to me. I'd rather give it from the horse's mouth what you should give it to me.
Okay, baby. Go ahead.
So,
You got a little static going on, Queen.
hold on. Me now?
Okay.
Okay, so like I told you before, I grew up in the system, and me and my brother were molested by my maternal grandfather, which like it started with my brother. I want to say because I'm 37 and he made 40, so we're a couple years apart, not too far apart, but
Okay.
And so it happened to him first because he's the oldest. And I say around 3 on out, before we got taken from, him, because we got taken from our bio parents because of drugs and abuse as well. So we went to him.
Okay.
And we went there and I was 3 years old. I remember it like yesterday.
At 3.
And 3 years old, he started
You can remember 3, period. Not just the horrible things, but because 3 is a young age to try to remember anything. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes. My life changed and it never was the same. The whole grooming process, but not knowing my brother had went through the grooming process as well as, the molestation, but he never talked about it.
Yes.
And so my own grandfather, who you're supposed to love, cherish, build happy memories, like that wasn't the case. And You know, I remember going to school telling, nobody believed me. Oh, you're just doing it for attention. And I'm like sexually acting out in school.
How old were you then when you were making this claim?
I had just made 4.
Okay.
So I'll say for a year, because I was short of turning 4 anyway. So I'll say for a year and a couple months, I was telling people. No one believed me because I still had an open DCFS case because my bio parents were trying to get me back.
Lord have mercy. Okay.
So I kept telling them, and finally, how it happened was my caseworker, my brother was outside, I guess watching the door, and my caseworker was coming to do a visit to take us to see our bio parents. And my caseworker walked in and seen what my grandfather was doing.
Well, where were you now?
Huh?
Where was you at when you walked in?
I was living with my grandfather, like he had temporary custody of us till they figure out where we was gonna go.
Wait a minute. So you telling me when he was touching you, where were y'all?
We was in his bedroom with the door closed, and my brother was standing outside watching the house door because he knew grandfather knew the caseworker was coming.
What hell? That's crazy. You knew she was coming. How about don't do it?
Exactly.
Oh, look, girl, I'm dead.
Yes. And so my caseworker never believed me. You know, my brother was acting, off. Nobody just believed us. And so my caseworker walked in. He had his pants down. And whatever he was doing, my caseworker took me and my brother, and we proceeded to go to numerous foster homes where that happened. Like it continued to happen to me by multiple adults, up until I got to be a teenager and I started fighting back. Like it's a vicious cycle, like that makes you sexually act out. It makes you not trust men or even adults. Like that was me. And then my brother, we got to be teenagers. He started doing the same thing that happened to him. So he never went to jail. He had to go to back in the day, they had treatment facilities for boys who were victim of that, and then they started doing that.
Right.
Yeah, it's just crazy. And I was a little kid when this story came. I think I was a teenager.
Right.
Yeah, it's just sad and sick all the way around that so many people are out here just getting away. And I think women get away with it because it's not a lot of women that get caught. I think women skate because they never get caught.
And it's not expected because we have more men, as you say, being caught as deviant predators. So we're not thinking that a woman would do this. Not a woman, not a woman rape a little boy or have sex, however you want to word it, it's rape still. People don't like to use the word when it comes to women and children, but it's rape. You know better. All these men out here. And then they say he was 12. I just want you to think about this for a minute. A 12-year-old walking in a schoolhouse down the street, wherever you see a damn 12-year-old, you're looking at a 12-year-old like he's a grown man. I mean, come on. Stop this nonsense.
I just don't understand it. Like I was saying in the comments, I believe she's done it before. She just never got caught.
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
This the first time.
Yes.
She was in love and crazy about this young boy.
Yes, the Samoan, this Hawaiian, the Samoan, pretty hair.
Yes, and she started making mistakes.
Yes.
And started getting careless. You know how people do when they so heavy into it?
Preach. Yes.
She started making slip-ups and mistakes and got caught.
Yes. Amen.
And then, women are very sneaky, not all.
Yes.
But the ones who do stuff. So that's why we would never get caught as far as a predator. Men get caught because they're just different and they think different. Yes, they cheat and molest kids like they would cheat with a grown-up. So they make mistakes and that's how they get caught. But women are different. We calculate everything. We're very detailed, and then it's like you're a mother anyway. So it's just like, to me, she was all the way off her rocker, and it make you feel like that they think that something happened to her. That's why she did what she did, and that's why they were so leniently with her. Because this is my thing. They caught you in the car, and you still kept getting off, and then you had kids, you got married. It just don't make no sense. I feel like
that's weird. Let's keep it real, Doc. Now, when you looked at them in that way, or whatever, how it started, this is wrong. Then you went on and did what you did. Then you got caught. Then you got 3 months in jail. Then you came back out. Hell, swole, married. See, y'all ain't thinking about all that. Her own children. She got a husband. Let's break it all the way down.
I forgot she was married when she started messing with the little boy. You right.
Love letters. I read that to you. Found the love letters. All of that. Got other children. All of that. I believe he was friends with her son, or they liked each other, friends, whatever.
Yeah.
Come on, Queen. That's ridiculous.
And that's why I believe, like, once you do it, you'll continue to do it. Like, it won't stop unless you really want to stop.
Because it's a deviant behavior as to be a sexual offender, whether you are a child molester and or a rapist. It has been proven. It cannot stop. You got to put it down like a rabid dog.
And you see what I said in the comments. I feel like they should get killed or stay in jail for the rest of their life because to me, you're making people have to have their kids and take a chance, whether it's the school, the daycare. You hearing stories now that they killing kids in daycare, raping, all kind of stuff. Teachers having sex with students. It's too much. She's
not going to, I kind of think like what you're thinking. She's probably fancied young boys before. Perhaps she didn't have a childhood. Perhaps she had some turbulent things to go on in her own life. She's going into school. She's identifying with these children. Because I'm going to tell you something. And, you know, a lot of people probably think I'm a little rough around the edges, but it's from my own life experiences why I talk and act the way I act. Like I said, we all flawed. How can I word this? When I see people who identify more with a child than an adult, I got a problem with you. Because you see, I know people right now. I know somebody right now that can't interact with a grown up. Matter of fact, I'm a name too, and I'm gonna keep it copacetic. I know too, and I'm not saying that they have ever harmed a child, but what I'm saying is their mindset is of a child. Because you see, in order for you to always talk about wanting to be in the company of a child, means your mind is of a child. You are a child. See, a lot of people like to say, well, I love kids. Well, guess what? He or she can't identify with you. Your ass is grown. See, that's why a lot of people can't take the queen. Because I go in the belly of the beast and I bring it out. You grown. At some point, you should want to hang around a damn adult. I'm saying it. And it ain't to say that you are an offender or a sexual predator. What I'm saying is when you cannot relate to an adult, something is wrong with your ass. And I know females like that. They are swear for God. I'd rather be around kids. Why? Listen to what you saying.
And the same thing, Queen, like, you know, when adults try to play that, to me, the correct term for me is grooming.
Yes, I understand what you said. Well, it is grooming. That's all it is.
Exactly, because anytime you rather hang out, you're not hanging with your own kids, but you taking interest in my kids. And then you always quick to want to babysit.
Yes,
okay, you can go out, you can do this. You're the first one to always want to do something with the child.
Volunteer.
Yeah, that's a red flag.
And look, that's a terrible way to think. It's a terrible way to think because you don't want to one day, put something out there that somebody is acting in that type of way because you could misconstrue it that they actually love children. And you have people who love children. You have men who love children. But we can misconstrue it as, he might be that kind of way. You understand what I'm saying? But perhaps he never had kids. He couldn't have kids. So he loves children. She loves kids. You got people who've never had kids. So they love, you understand what I'm saying? To be around kids. And you have to box everything separately so you don't put them in the group of thinking that they are doing anything felonious with the child. But in the end, how the hell are you gonna ever know? Because you ain't. All you gotta do is just wait and lie in wait to see, is this child gonna come to me with some old crazy ass talk about somebody been touching them? You understand what I'm saying? But I know people right now who cannot identify with being in the company of adults, and I find it baffling. But like I said, I don't view them as sexual predators, but I view them as immature. Let me say that. You are immature. Because the day you say you can't identify with damn grown-ups, something wrong with your ass. And Queen gonna keep it real. Now, just like I like talking to the elderly. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the line of work I do. But that don't mean I can't damn roll with a 50-year-old. Don't mean I can't roll with a 30-year-old. You feel me?
Right.
But if that's all you talk about, kids. I want kids over. Kids in my house all the time. Yeah, I'm looking at you real crazy. And like I said, it's not to say that you are doing anything felonious, but it's weird to me when I see a grown-up ass woman, man too, all you do is talk about children. You got them at your house all day. You're keeping kids. They coming in all day. It's like, where are your friends? You're grown. Where are your girlfriend, guy friends? Why do you not have confidants that are your age? That's weird to me.
It's very suspect. And then you got the parents, or maybe I'll say the mother, who is so I'm talking about for like maybe teenagers. You're so jealous, even I think small kids, you're so jealous of your child that you will believe your man before you believe your child.
Well, I ain't ready. Let me tell you something. And that's another thing. Girl, you're about to get me hot now.
I'm sorry.
In the hell, what you think, if you know you ain't done nothing to your child, and you ain't exposed your child to nothing that you know of, one, like you said, touching yourself. Two, talking and saying stuff you ain't got no business. How would a child just know to do anything sexual with another child? And I ain't saying that they can't be curious, because they are curious beings as children. They may touch another child inappropriately, and it don't even have to mean that they've been molested, but it's to be expected because they say this. But to pick a grown-up over your child come to you and say, Mommy, he been putting his pee down here, or he been putting his mouth over here, or he been putting his fingers down here, and you want me to believe a young child, or it could be an older child, is making that up, and you don't believe a complete stranger, you need to have your ass whipped.
And that's all I'm saying. Like, you see it so often, especially, forgive me, I don't want nobody to take offense. That too in the Black community. You ready to beat your daughter or your son, or mainly the daughter, because you ain't trying to lose your man.
Look, the white folks do it too. I done watched a whole lot of Dr. Phil, and a lot of them folks be on his show. Them white people up there too, Queen.
Yeah, you right. I stopped watching him.
Yeah,
but I know what you're saying.
I remember watching those stinking ass white woman sat up there and wouldn't believe her children when they said that man was touching them, and she to this day. I mean, her children were grown, and she's still talking to the husband, sending the money commissary in the damn prison. Oh, shit, hell no.
I call it toxic ass parents or a toxic ass mother.
Yeah, because you know what? Your husband went to prison for molesting your children. They found proof. The state found proof, and you still fooling with your husband? And still you get out and still together, and now you don't got no relationship with your children because you stayed and waited for a sexual child molester to go to trial, go to prison, stay in prison, get out, and you still with them and ain't got no relationship because naturally your kids said, the hell with this, I ain't got no mama.
Exactly. And then they want to make up through the grandkids. No, you messed up with me. Why should you have grandparent privileges?
Let me tell you, let a queen school you on something. Why the hell would you let your children stay around your brother when you knew your brother molested you as a child? Queen, keep it real. You understand what I'm saying? You knew as a child he was messing with you and your sisters growing up. So now, fast forward years later, you got kids. You don't want to just be honest and tell your brother. You can't.
Why you really can't? He can't be around them kids.
No, you can't come here. Period.
Exactly.
Cause see, you already done touched me growing up. So why should we have any type of relationship? But as you say, it's the shit Black folks do, and the white folks do it too. Yep. That's what I say. It goes on with white folks, other races too. People
it's
still
vicious cycles that keep
with their child molesters, which are their uncle, grandmamas, granddaddies, brothers. But you should know if you have children, if he molested you as a child, he gonna molest your girl child.
And do you know my daddy's sister would not believe that to this day? Talking about something that's probably something DCFS told you when you was growing up. I said, no, but you ain't gonna tell me what I never forgot. Don't try to tell me anything because you don't agree with it, because that's your family man. He ain't mad. He might get my blood, but that ain't my family.
Yeah, I understand.
You try to minimize what I went through.
I don't like when people try to tell a child that somebody didn't touch them. How the hell you gonna tell a child who touched them and didn't touch them? My thing is, you weren't there, so why you gonna tell a child somebody didn't touch them?
And then the kicker is when you go to the doctor, you got proof.
Well, let me tell you something. And I don't
still in denial
because I ain't about to go graphic, but you know where I'm going, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you fully grown, we ain't got to explain the rest.
Exactly.
You done left proof with the child, if you get my drift.
Mm-hmm. I'm following.
You can't explain it no kind of way to no physician. And if 12 members hear it, if they mind right, they're going to say, yeah, somebody was there with a personal private part. Just like I brought a story a year ago of a white man here in Tennessee who raped his little boy. Okay? And in my right mind, I'm trying to figure out, how could you penetrate a baby? You see what I'm saying? And think ain't nobody gonna notice that you've been touching your own children in that way with your private part. I'm telling you, it baffles me how people aid these people, even when there's evidence that the children have been tainted with. You understand? Because that's something a lot of them don't think. Maybe in their minds, they think it's just a matter of being touched. But a lot of children have been penetrated with private parts and objects. And we know a child is not getting ready to be in certain objects in their body. So who did it? The boogeyman? You know, come on with all that. Sickening.
Said a mouthful, boy.
Yeah. Ain't nobody trying to tell you, well, this is what we saw in the examination, and this is what we saw, and then you repeat it back. It comes out, news, whatever, however it goes down, and yet you still rallying for somebody because that's your brother, your sister, whoever the hell they are, your cousin, whatever. All right, well, you know what? Good. You just make sure you put enough money on their damn books while they're locked up. I don't care what you do.
Exactly. And then how about Queen, when they get on when a molester get on their deathbed, now they want to confess their sins. No, you didn't confess when I was young. Right. Don't confess when I'm under the dope and you on your deathbed. Take that to Jesus.
True. That's the truth. That's the truth. Yeah. I hear you, Nay. And yeah, because that happens too. Children do get infested with diseases.
Can't have kids when they get older. All kinds of stuff.
I'm dead. But this case here with Latourneau, like I said, if you're a sick mind, you would think, oh, it was a love affair. But that lets me know you're sick too, because you know damn well that woman was grown. He was a child. You got a child. He penetrated a woman and got her pregnant. That's deep.
But that just let me believe that the people handling this case, they some creepers, because you only gave her 3 months and then you kept giving her chance. That lets me alone. Y'all either tamper with somebody yourself or y'all doing some other kind of stuff. Because to me, she should have stayed in jail, but she should have got the help and stayed in there for life.
Yeah. Well, you see, somebody said, guess what? We let you play around, but guess what? Queen, we're going to give you 7.5 years. And it showed soccer school, didn't it? That second round. And then guess what? 2 children in a minute of all that going on. 2 babies by a child. I'm dead.
And I believe he really fell in love and tried to get her. I mean, it was a sick love is what I'm saying. I don't think the love that you experienced with somebody you truly love, because that was the first woman that gave him some, his first child, all of that. So I feel like she took because she was so infatuated. Because
Yes.
he was a handsome little boy.
Yeah,
Would I
yeah,
do
yeah,
something
yeah.
with him? No, I wouldn't. She seen something she was intrigued, that she liked and loved, and couldn't help herself because that's how her man worked, and ruined her life and his life.
Yeah.
But she didn't care because she'd been doing this before, and I'm
Okay.
gonna stand by what I say.
So you believe that she's molested other children
Yes.
before him and got caught?
Because
Okay.
from what I'm understanding, when I was a kid, I used to do journaling. I think she moved from another town before she came to that school dish. I would have to go back and do my homework.
Okay.
I'm mistaken, her and her husband had moved, and she was new at that school.
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't know, because the two sources I brought hadn't said anything about her previous educational her job history.
Maybe she was messing with some little boys she wasn't quite like. She was just testing the waters to see how far they would go if they would report. Because child groomers and child pedophilias, they don't just do stuff overnight. They have been doing this. They start with grooming and then they go in for the kill.
Yes.
She has been doing this and got away with it, and she got caught because she caught herself in her feelings.
Yes.
She fell in love with a baby. That's exactly what he was, a baby.
Right. Dee Dee says he didn't know what love was at that young age. Of course he didn't. He's a child.
He didn't. That was his first everything with her.
That's why he made a comment in the article. Oh my goodness, they really. He said in that article about this, they took her from me.
Yeah, he went through his own depression.
Because obviously he had stuff going on in his own life, because that was said too. They didn't get into any description.
Yeah, I think his home life was bad as well.
But guess what? Let's keep that real too. Isn't it easy for the devil to infiltrate when shit already grimy?
Yep.
Don't he always come in when it's grimy?
And it ain't so much as the devil. Sometimes we put ourselves in predicaments and we do stuff because we want to do stuff.
Yes, we do.
She wanted to be with a child.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is his life was already probably had.
Oh yeah.
And then
she seized the opportunity.
She could have seen a child that was neglected. She could have heard him talk about things that wasn't proper. So let me love on him. Let me show him love. But you have no business showing a child love because your ass know that's against the law.
Yeah, she preyed on his weakness. She saw the unstable household. And then she made it seem like what she said was like a long time, but she made it seem like her husband couldn't live up to, especially as far as a husband and a father. She coming from that boy gave her what a husband give you. What did he?
He couldn't give her what? What could he give her?
That's what. He gave you a baby, but what did he really give you besides sex? Is what I'm saying.
That's all
that didn't even call sex.
You could have sex with anybody. That's why I
Thank
say
you.
Should have been. If you were just horny or you felt like you wasn't getting affection from your husband, you should have took your tail to the street and picked you up something.
Or got a divorce and then did what you did.
Well, whatever. They do it all the time.
Exactly.
Folks horny. They ain't getting the right type of sex or love or whatever the hell you want to call it. Honey, go to the street.
I know.
How you doing, Nay?
I'm well. How's everybody?
Good. Welcome. Tell me what you got to say, baby.
Oh, I got a lot to say.
Look. Let me get my helmet.
Yeah, please get the helmet.
Put it on.
I'm gonna go in the chat.
Stay there.
Okay.
Stay there. You can add to it.
Look,
okay, I'm gonna stay here.
She done taken the cut long enough. She ready.
No, I'm gonna cut up there.
Okay,
like Queen be making night out. Stay up there, Dorothy. You
okay, I'm gonna stay up here.
Okay.
So I clue in on all this stuff. It's just my nature. Always has been.
Okay.
So when she was saying how you got to watch men and women that extra love kids and everything, or just pay too much attention to them, that's so true, because I was dating this guy and he didn't have any kids, this, that, and the other. But when you talk about starting a family and stuff, he wants to have a daughter so he can spoil her, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, what man wants a daughter first? And then when we talk about boys and this, that, and the other, you don't have anything to say. But when it comes to a daughter, you have everything to say. So I had to tell him, like, I can't deal with you. And I'm going to have to end this.
Why you feel like that?
Because I don't know any man that wants their first child, and you're older in age and this is your first child, but you still want a daughter. You don't want a son to carry your name on. Most men want that. Period.
Well, maybe he didn't have no sisters growing up or something like that.
Nah, he had sisters and he had a mother too.
Oh, look at you. Sorry.
Yeah. So at the end, I just kept saying, like, whenever, and I kept explaining, like, well, it's an XY chromosome, this, that, and the other, because now you seem a little bit different on the conversation with it. So I just couldn't get past that. And so I told him, I was like, I just have a vision that because you talk so strong about a daughter, that if I ever had a child with you and it was a girl, I would have to watch you. And I can't participate in that because I'm never going to be with someone that I know I can't trust my child with. So I said, but I think I could come home and have to F you up one day because I've seen some stuff that I really probably shouldn't have seen. So I'm going to have to leave this relationship here where it is, because I would rather be wrong than to carry on and find out that I was right. So he was highly upset with me. But at the end of the day, I felt great with my decision and left it at that. But when you too obsessed and you fantasize and all you talk about is a female child, this, that, and the other, and I don't care, everybody.
Well, have you heard anything?
That girl, this, that, and the other.
But have you heard of anything felonious going on with him and girl children?
No, but I can read people. And it was just something about him that just did not sit in my spirit. Like, I'm just like, something ain't right. So I just,
let's just keep it real. I have met lots of women who prefer boy children. They'll say
that's right.
But we know why they want boys, because they're easier to maintain. You ain't got the super turbos and this and puberty.
That's normal.
Yeah. Right, but he could say, why would you think different of me? Because I want a little girl, I want a pretty baby girl. Just saying.
Yeah, that you can F with, and I come home and have to just.
You know what?
Yeah, it was just too much of a fascination with a female baby child and stuff. And just any man that I deal with, and I deal with men.
Yeah,
and just they never came to me on that level, and. It was just vibes I was feeling. And he's like, I can't believe you would say something like that. I said, well, I done lived life. I know people and I know certain things that happen. And I know men that have messed with their daughters and stuff. And I refuse to be a part of that. And if I can see something or sense something, because I've never had that thought with any other person I've ever been with.
Okay. Well, I can't knock what you thought, but I'm just thinking, like, how sometimes we can overreact to things. Is it possible that you could have been wrong?
And it's possible, but I'd rather be wrong and leave it alone than to find out all the time. Because
so let me ask you this. So a lot of women have done this. Children, it's come out more and more women messing with little boys. Do you think they should get the time that they would give a man?
I think they should get just as much, and it's all equal. At the end of the day, you are ruining someone's life, period. Right. Yeah. You have destroyed that. At any time that lady, Doc, can you put your phone on mute or something for a second?
Okay.
Dorothy, okay, it's the echo. Okay, yeah. Thank you. Hold on. That's okay, fam.
Okay. But I just feel like any time that. And to me, she was in a position of power. And when you have a position of power or authority, then you are more accountable than in just a regular situation. And anytime, the first time she felt that she was attracted to a kid, she should have sought and got help. Like there's I don't know what happened in her life, and I don't care what happened in her life, because once you become 18 and grown, you are accountable for your decisions. You have sense enough to go to school, get an education, this, that, and the other, but then you want to use the same thing and harm children. Like, something's wrong with that. And I do believe and know if she was a Black lady or any other race of a lady, it would have been in the news and it would have been all different. Mug shots looking all crazy, Pookie and Ray Ray showing up and all that other stuff. It just would have been a total disaster. So yes, I think she should have been accountable. It shouldn't have been one child nor a second child, because now these kids have to live with the whole story of that was on Lifetime and everything else of their mother falling in love with a little boy.
Okay.
It's sick. Like I've talked to a man and he had childlike behaviors, and I'm like, if I deal with you, I got to call children's services on myself because I'm dealing with a man that's in the kid's body and got a kid mind. So I can't do it. Okay. Never would.
Okay, I understand.
Because it happens.
Yes,
and that's the thing. Women do not pay attention, and the signs are there. And I know there are plenty of women that are super sensitive to it, and they go to the extreme.
Well, you know, like they tell you, starting out, no matter who your children are around, you know, you don't want to be mean to your family members as far as letting little girls sit, you know, on your brother's lap or your grandpa's lap or your uncle's lap, because if you don't see him that way, you don't know him to be that way, you're not thinking of anything. But you need to be vigilant in your mindset and watching things. If you start seeing, such as the uncle, brother, cousin reaching for your child, and your child starts to cry, starts to become, you know, reclusive from that said person. You understand what I'm saying? You know, you know, children have funny temperaments. But if every time you go to reach for my child, girl, child, whoever it is, and they start to pull back and cry all the time, those are the signs that something's been going on. Because there's no reason
how about you don't let your kid,
a male goes for a child, they're crying and pulling and no, stop, leave me alone. Come on now.
And how about you don't let your kids sit on anybody's lap? Because I'm a girl child sitting on no period.
You shouldn't let a girl child ever sit on a grown man's lap that you don't know. Like I said, you can trust your own family because that's your family. You don't know anything facetious going on with them. I mean, you know, for loneliness. So you would. But as I said, if you were to see your child to act outward that you think right, okay, then you pull your child away and possibly say something to the adult. Like, you know, I'm noticing every time my little girl sit on, you know, is around you, she don't want to be around you. I mean, what's up? I mean, what's wrong with saying it? And then you wait to get a response. That's your kid. That's how I look at it.
If my kid want to sit on somebody's lap, they better get flexible, do some gymnastics, and learn how to sit on their own. Because that's the only way. You're not sitting on a male's lap, a lady's lap, none of that. And I don't agree with teachers coming to
getting
to the house and stuff like that.
But you've seen that's how that shit starts. I hate to say it. That interaction that's too close. Every time you look up, the coach is at the house. The coach eats dinner. The tutors there eating. The teachers there eating. And you know, you ain't thinking about it. Oh, let's let the teacher come over. She don't mind. I don't mind. She's nice. He's nice. But then later you hear the horrible stories.
No, you need to be professional all times. And the families don't need to know you personally or any of that stuff. So the parents is okay with that. Then that's a whole issue that you need to deal with yourself. But teachers are to be teachers.
Yes.
And work in their capacity. But the first time the teacher ever asked to come over my house, we got problems and we don't have to talk about it.
Listen at you.
We will.
Dorothy, why you fall off? Ruby Ray asked Dorothy, you think your grandfather done the same to his kids? Oh, more than likely he has.
Yes. And that's the thing that
There's
happens.
No way he woke up and start touching his grandbabies without touching his own damn kids. Go ahead, Nene.
But that's what happens in families. There's this lady on Instagram or something. She's a biracial girl. And she grew up with her Caucasian white side of the family. I'm just going to say what it is. She grew up with her white side of the family. And her dad was still in her life and stuff. But the majority of her was with her white family and stuff. And so come to find out, the grandfather had molested her. And the family knew about it. She finally told and everything. And they swept it under the carpet and said, you know, we're not going to, Grandpa, we talked to him and he said he's never going to do that again, blah, blah, blah. And he did it again, of course. Yeah. They still left it for what it is. And she said she never told her dad because her mom's side of the family didn't do anything about it. And they said that they would keep it within the family. Well, when she became grown, she told her father. And he said that he wished she had told him earlier and stuff because he could have protected her. He was there and he doesn't know why she didn't say anything and all this stuff. And now her and her dad have this great relationship, always has. But come to find out, the brother had already told the dad when he was grown because he was older than she was. So he had messed with both of the kids. The grandfather. And so she took her story and now writes children books. And and stuff. So it was a nice story. I can't remember where I heard it at, but good story.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a lot of people down there that was saying a lot of stuff. They need to call in.
Yeah. Well, everything's about experience. So, very interesting. Dorothy fell off, but that's the question Ruby asked. Do you think possibly he was messing with his own kids? I think he was, because it's just a generational curse. Naturally, you touch your kids, now you're touching the grandkids. You're probably touching the nieces, nephews, if you're into, boys. Oh God, it makes me sick. Jesus.
I have a cousin now that I can't wait to see him, because my family like to hold them secrets and stuff, but Nene don't. Ooh. Nene put everybody on blast whenever the time is right.
Why, Nene?
Because I think I don't do that secret stuff. Secret destroy lives and destroy families and everything.
It does. So, I've learned that. Hush, hush, and it doesn't do anything but just cause a lot of rift between people. And the reason why people don't get along now is because one person got this version, then somebody else got this version. And then when the people get grown, they start meeting up, they start repeating what this mama said, and then it ain't the version of what really happened. Because I always tell people that what your mammy told you ain't really what's the truth, but you ain't gonna think it's your mama, because that's your mama. And you'll say, well, that's my mama. Why would my mama lie? Your mammy did lie.
And probably been lying her whole life. But you've been telling lies for your mother, and it's small lies. But if she gives you the small lies, then you're definitely she got some big lies. But it's a cousin of mine now, and they know, my family knows me. So I know they probably think that I don't know yet, but I do know it. I can't wait till the reunion or wherever we get together.
Don't do that reunion, Nay.
No, because everybody needs to know, because all y'all want to be secretive, this, that, and the other, and y'all know. But yeah,
why wait for a reunion when that's supposed to be a happy time of people gathering and having fun? Just tell it now if you think
it's gonna be happy, because people gonna be free.
Huh?
People gonna be free. When I let it out, everybody gonna be free. They ain't gotta say, "Oh, we didn't know." Yes, y'all did. Tell it that y'all knew it how I know it. But anyway,
no, listen to me. Listen to an old queen. Don't wait. See, you doing that reality TV shit. Do it now and be done with it.
We're not gonna be on TV.
Don't wait for no allegedly happy occasion. Do it now. If you got something you want to say to somebody, say it now, baby, and be done with it.
I don't see him unless we're at a family gathering.
I don't care. I don't care. You know damn well you can find a way to reach that Negro. No, stop all that.
Well, I done told all the aunties that don't want to say it, that they already know if I know.
So listen, let me ask you this. So what you trying to say? The man touched you?
No. He's sleeping with his daughter.
Shit, I'm dead. You know what? This is
I'm dead too. Exactly.
What somebody said, look, and this person know who I'm talking about. They said, your lives got to be continued.
I don't know.
Your lives got to be continued. You can't, oh Jesus, well, I'm done, Satan. Girl, you off my life.
I can't see the comments.
I see. Oh, I can't.
Yeah.
Man, you do this on my life, because now my whole life then went from that to this. What the hell did you say?
Well, I'll drop back down in the comments.
Thank you, Ruby. Right now, you gonna make me understand what the hell you saying up here.
I just said it. He's sleeping with his dog.
Okay, but you know the queen ain't gonna let you just jump back down and go look. Like Bernie Mac. Wait a minute. You know we ain't do like Bernie Mac. Him downstairs. You get ready to tell me what the hell you talking about.
Hello?
He can have his daughter's milk and cookies.
Hello?
Wait a minute.
Girl, you owe me another phone because I dropped my phone as soon as you said that.
Well, wait a minute. I'll send you the money what I owe you.
Lord have mercy, girl. You gotta tell us this.
I'll send you a new phone. I'll send you the money for a phone because I'm on Nene right now. Nene.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think what I'm trying to say. Damn. I lost my train of thought. Nene.
Yes.
How do you know he is sleeping with his child?
Because his child finally came out and told one of the cousins.
Lord have mercy.
And it was always suspicion because
I can't.
It was always suspicion when this child got older. He wasn't in her life because Children's Services removed them when they were younger. Don't know why, but I'm assuming it probably had to do with some stuff like that. So, you know, children are faithful, children are loyal. She turns 18, she goes back, rekindles with her father, and now you banging your daughter. Like, what is wrong with you?
Wait. Okay, well, just slow down for a second. Jesus, put the brakes on. What did the child say to Ray, Pookie, Shamiqua?
So she told him that
who is him?
My cousin.
A boy or a female?
A male boy.
So a
male boy, a boy.
This relative, the girl, the victim, told a male cousin that what?
That she's been having a sexual relationship with her dad. They live together.
Okay, and how old is this victim?
She is grown now. However, people want to blame her, but I can't blame her.
Wait, but back up. She's grown. You can't leave nothing out, sweetheart. How old is the victim?
She's about 20.
The victim has been molested and or raped by the father at what age?
Started about 2 years ago.
Fucking grown.
But Queen, you gotta understand.
Wait a minute, Lord, this infidel ain't working. Jesus, somebody call the paramedics. I'm about to get out of here. Wait a minute. Wait, girl. I bleed now. I shouldn't be incognito when I do this. Wait a minute.
Right, because I do want to see your face and stuff. Because I know all the looks.
The queen don't need to be seen right now. Because I don't want nobody to see I'm looking right now. I'm crazy. Because we already know they do this shit when they're younger. Because we already know you can fight back when you're older. What the hell is he saying, Nene? He went to the child almost grown?
Correct. So she started remember, she grew up in the system. So she started seeing him again when she was in her teens.
I'm dead.
And then when she got out of the system, the grooming and stuff had been there. So
this is rare. We know this with child molesters. It is rare for them to touch children older.
Yes, it is.
For the fear of retaliation, fight, and go tell somebody.
Right. However, and this is how like my family was seeing it and stuff. Like, you know, their relationship is different. Like, we're supposed to go here as a family. And when the daughter said she couldn't go, his reaction was not that of a father.
Girl,
his reaction was that of a lover. Like, why you can't go? You're gonna do this. You're gonna do that. What are you?
I'm about to spit fire out my mouth.
That's why I said I'm gonna let it be known. I'm gonna release everybody, and then I'm gonna make the exit as I do.
Man, where is the child now? Where's the 20-year-old now?
She finally moved out.
How the fuck can you go approach a fucking almost grown ass kid in that way? It's wrong to do it, period. Let me make that clear. But you know a kid is going to be looking at you like, what the fuck you doing touching me? Yeah, I'm cussing on this live now.
But this
you doing touching
but this is the thing.
Off me.
Queen, this is the thing. This is a child that was away from her family. So when she gets at 16 and stuff, and she see her family again,
I want to come back into the fold. Yes. And this is what you do to me? This is what you think of me? Damn.
And so everybody wants to say that it's her fault, but I still feel like
I wish a motherfucker would. Here, God forgive me.
So you still think I should wait and call him? No.
That's her place. That's
her
journey.
Told it and she'd have moved out.
Okay, but listen, that's her place, her journey.
Yeah.
Her be the one to put him on blast, whichsoever, howsoever.
Well, I'm all about bringing healing, and I'm gonna bring the healing on that.
Well, that's why I said that type of topic. That's not the topic to do at no funerals, no family reunions. That's not the place for that. You got something you feel like somebody needs to know about. But what you always got to remember, if she ain't in cahoots with letting her business be told, then you going to have a problem with she, and she going to have a problem with you. So that's what you got to think too. You're not only putting out somebody's personal business, if you got a good rapport with her, that wouldn't be your place to say anything if she is not aiding you in repeating the business.
Okay, well, I ain't got a report with neither one of them. So it don't matter to me. They family, blood, that's it.
Nay. Listen to what I'm saying to you, though. If the girl don't speak on it, you cannot go say nothing.
But I feel like she wants to speak on it. She's just afraid of how it would be received.
That's not the point, but that's not the point.
All right. Well,
take it from an old head.
I'm listening.
Let that be her journey. Because I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. Because this is what happens in situations like this. It doesn't matter what I think she should feel. What I think she should say. If it ain't coming out her mouth, don't say nothing.
Okay, but what's going to happen?
It don't matter. That's for her to tell folks, hey, my daddy did this to me. Woo, woo, woo. You know, if you go around him, you know how to be. Shit, it's nothing. Don't speak, don't talk. And if he say, well, what's your problem? Then you can say it to him directly. Well, the word on the street is you've been fucking your kid, touching your kid, and then walk off.
And that's how I was going to do it. That was my plan exactly.
Okay, but you still would have to be in a situation to get to that point with him, is what I'm saying. But don't put him on blast there and all that, because in the end, you've seen how people will ride or die with their molester. I know somebody right now will still talk about their child molester like they was the chosen child.
Right, but she's happy to be out, and she's happy to be out, and that's why she left. But I also said I'm not gonna say anything until he says something to me.
Yeah, no.
When he says something to me,
I know a motherfucker grown right now in their 40s, and they're still talking about their child molester like they the golden child, and we sitting here looking at this person like, the hell is wrong with you? Because you sick. You sick. You sick to even ask somebody that you know he touched. Well, have you heard? They died. Don't give a damn that he dead. That's between him and Jesus.
Well, the only thing they're gonna do is say that damn nay like they say every time. It's okay.
Well,
they already know.
I'm just saying, what starts out as seeming like a good thing to do turns out to be a disaster. I'm just telling you, because I know people.
And that's fine, but I'm willing.
I know people.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is, I don't want you in a falling out with her, is what I'm saying.
I can't fall out with people that I ain't connected to.
Okay,
this is just family.
Okay, I hear what you're saying. But see, what you're getting ready to do is make it be some bullshit. Even though we know it's heinous, but if that chick ain't signing off on saying, I don't care who you tell, what you tell, because in the end, you got to still remember that is her personal business. And we're not talking about you dating some guy and it didn't work out. You're talking about your father who brought you here touching you. So you're talking about a whole nother dynamic, putting somebody on blast. Because what you always got to remember about putting people on blast, you also putting the victim on blast.
Well, then maybe the rest of the family will tell their stories about the other ones that molested them too. Maybe everybody will be free on this day.
Say what?
Yeah.
I know. Repeat what you just said.
Then maybe everybody else on this day will be able to tell their story too about who in the family did them too. So that's what we're gonna do.
Well, wait a minute.
There's more victims.
Exactly. And he ain't the only perpetrator. He on his daughter, but it's more in the family. So they all know. They all know. Period.
This bottle then got real low.
I got pop mine, girl.
Yeah, you sure do. You sure do need to cash out. Fooling with y'all, I'm gonna be under the bridge.
I mean, my family's like that too. You know.
So I'm just gonna free everybody.
Yes, Didi got a good point. Why don't you talk to her in private? Don't do that. I'm telling you, it will not end like you think it will end.
Okay, and I'm listening to what y'all saying.
Yeah, because I'm not trying to.
I don't want y'all to think that I'm not.
I don't want you to think I'm telling you what to do. But so you got to remember something. You are still talking about a victim in the situation.
Right.
You're not just talking about Pookie that you heard in the street messing with his kid, and it made national news, and you don't know Pookie, you ain't got nothing invested like some of the shit we talk about on YouTube. We don't know these people. So yeah, we give our opinion, we talk junk. But this is in your family. It's totally different. You got to just tread the waters a little bit different. Do you understand? Now, I understand you might want to not say anything. I was the type of person, I knew somebody was that way. I try to stay away from them. You get my drift? Never said nothing. Never tried to come out, put them on blast. I let him know by ignoring them, not opening doors. He was banging on the door, and they said he stopped by, and you think the day I'm going to be alone with you? You feel where I'm going?
Mm-hmm.
I feel where you're going, but at the same time, everybody
you want this person on blast, but you got to remember there's a repercussion because there's a living victim.
There's many living victims, and they all can free themselves.
But did they tell you they want Nene to be the spokesperson?
They don't.
I heard that stuttering.
Yeah,
they have to want to be free.
They gotta want to be right because what Nene think and how they think, that's two different damn things.
Okay, well,
because guess what? I'm telling you, it'll be shit creek. You go run your mouth, start some shit, start talking loud, and them heifers come at you talking about anybody told you to go tell he did this to me or allegedly woo woo woo. And let me tell you something. A motherfucker get scared, they'll retract that he ever touched him. Shut your mouth.
I wouldn't care. They can retract all day. Everybody got their secrets. Everybody know it. They can retract all day.
What did I tell you about that ride or die syndrome? Then the fingers will be pointing at Nene. Oh, she with that shit. Okay, but that's what the queen saying. Nene with that shit. She spread that Pookie Ray Ray touched Susie Mae. And what did I tell you? The folks that's ride or die for folks knowing they foul, still will cover for them. Then before you know it, it's about Nene. It ain't even about the perpetrator.
Maybe she needs her place in healing. Maybe she ain't healed yet. So you blame it out.
I'm gonna help her get there. Because I
think that's what you should do. Is go to her one-on-one in a diplomatic fashion, not accusatory or anything like that. Just say, hey, I'd like to come talk to you one-on-one. I heard your plight, blah, blah, blah. Because let me tell you, if you was to sit here right now and go back on this live and listen at yourself in this live, I always tell people, that's why I tell people sometimes you need to listen at the lives and listen at yourself. But you listen at yourself in this live and imagine if she was to hear this, she would think you had felonious reasons to bring all this out. Because think about what you said. Well, we ain't this, we ain't cool, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. If she was to hear this live, she'd say, oh, that bitch out to get me. Feel where I'm going now?
That's okay.
Oh, damn, Nene.
It's not okay for survivors.
Right.
I can't reach Nene.
No,
it's not okay for survivors.
You're right.
When people out us, like if it was a family function, and I told certain people, right, and they come out and they say, oh, whoop de whoop, did this and did this tonight out, and what if I'm not ready for them to know that? Maybe it's
Ruby Ray. I believe somebody needs to speak up. I'm all for somebody speaking up, but what you got to remember, if you don't know the temperament of the survivor, let's say, because I'm sorry to say victim, whatever, but if you don't know the temperament of that person, it can go terribly wrong.
Okay,
so terribly wrong.
And I've weighed the cost, and I'm gonna say, every last one of y'all gonna be free. Because every last one of y'all got a perpetrator that's in the family. So let's quit pussyfooting around it and put the shit out there, and then we can go move forward.
I'm saying, for survivors, if you've never been attacked and harmed and damaged, sometimes doing the right thing causes more damage on top of what you've been through.
Because it does usually, and it's sad to say. Because we really don't know this chick, and we don't know if she'll flip-flop. And the first thing she'll say, I'm telling you, if she's not ready for that to be out, because what you got to remember is one thing, Nene. Because I told Pookie didn't mean I told Nene.
Right, and that's why Nene gonna say word on the street is.
But she gonna know where it came from, girl.
I mean, if she's smart, but some people play dumb, so she can play dumb.
Why you think I said what I said, then? Why you think I said what I said about her playing dumb? If I don't want my business out there on like YouTube or Facebook, yeah, I told Ray, but I ain't tell Nene, Shamiqua, Jim Jones. You feel me?
And what if that's the only person she could trust with this secret? That's called
a secret, because I didn't tell everybody. I told one person.
Yeah, because most survivors have one person, if that they can tell that too.
Yeah, and you gonna cause some problems.
That relationship.
Yeah, because she gonna go off, because you know she gonna say, let's just say for the record, she knows she only told one person. Now Nene get to running off at the mouth. She now knows that dude told you.
That's another lesson she'll learn.
Why does she have to learn a lesson if she's a survivor?
Yeah, that's not right to say that about her. No, that's not right to say.
No, and I agree, but at the same time, if y'all know how deep this stuff run within this family,
well, now let me tell you this right here. If indeed, because we're gonna scratch that young person out and her dad, we're gonna scratch all that out. If indeed you have been accosted by somebody in the family, then you tell your story.
That's already been told.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. So you tell what somebody did to Nene.
Yeah, that's already been told.
Yeah, because if it ain't that guy, I'm telling you, it'll be a hell fucking storm. Because that's the thing of telling one person. I didn't tell 12 Negroes. I told the one. So the one ain't supposed to tell. But this is what we do as people. We do repeat stuff that we ain't had no business telling. Okay, but that's what I'm saying. If she ain't at a point where she want everybody to know, she told the one, confided in him. She expected him to hold the secret. He did not. So if Nene come on blast, and she knows now he didn't hold the secret. So if you, Nene, got something you want to say about what the fuck somebody did to Nene, then yeah, that's you. That's Nene. Put it on blast. On Nene. What somebody did to Nene.
I already put them on blast about that at the last party. So. They already know.
The parties. Oh my God.
Yeah, well, that's because
so much for buying my damn $500 damn gown.
No, but this is the thing. This is the thing. They know that I am always the truth seeker and the truth teller. So they respect that. So when I do bring it, they hear it. They can't deny it, because if you ask anybody in my family if they want to know the truth, who they gonna call? Me. And I'm gonna tell them exactly what the truth is. So they already know that. So they know. And I'm respected for that, because all the rest of them, they want to lie, connive, and this, that, and the other. But my mom used to get on me as a kid, like, you ain't gotta tell everything. Well, why not?
Right. This is true. Like I said.
But what if she's not in a good place mentally?
Yeah, I'm gonna let that out. I ain't saying another word. I'm gonna be quiet. I'm just gonna hush, little baby.
But everybody tiptoeing around, scared that he gonna touch their daughters and this, that, and the other. And then y'all got him around his friends that got daughters and this, that, and the other, and ain't nobody saying nothing. Like, no, I don't agree with that.
But what can be done?
I respect what you're saying. And so maybe perhaps that all you all need to get together. All need to get together and have a talk to say it's finally time that we let this be known amongst our family that he, she, whoever is doing this, and then put an end to it. But the whispering, I get it. It needs to stop, because I agree with that. The whispering needs to stop. But you don't want to put somebody on blast if the survivor isn't on board to be blasted out, him or herself. That's where the problem comes in.
I understand that too.
Because if the survivor ain't on board with being put on blast, that's gonna be hellified fucked up. I'm telling you. It don't matter what we whisper about. We whisper about people all the time. But did I go tell you to speak on my behalf? Hell to the no.
But they know if they whispering that they don't need. They know if they whispering, they know not to whisper to Nene. Nobody whispers to Nene, because they know. Everybody know that if you tell Nene, you telling Nene for a reason.
You know what? I'm dead. Well, we know how to tell your ass.
No, exactly. Anybody in my family tell you, like, you don't want to tell her. I'm about to say my real name, but you don't want to tell her because you already know who's going to go down. But there's freedom in that. I'm not living no life that I got to be locked up and chained and this, that, and the other, because, like I said, that destroy lives. And then he goes on to do this and do that and everything else. His brother is in the military. They told his brother that he can't even own another gun because he got too many in his name. But I'm wondering why my cousin got so many guns, but he probably been trying to protect himself from his brother since he was a kid. I don't know that, but it's a reason. I'm not trying to get to the bottom of that. But at the same time, the aunties and all them that know, and they supposed to be, you know, the wise ones in the family, this, that, and the other. Like, y'all need to quit that stuff. Y'all hurting people. And there is no healing.
I know about secrets and all that kind of stuff. I get what you're saying. But was one of the type of people, and let me tell you how I roll, because it's just who the queen is. Once I see MF is with that BS and they like pushing stuff under the rug, what you've told me is I couldn't come to you no way. I maneuver differently. Mm-hmm. I'm headstrong, I'm boisterous, but I also know when not to say anything. Because see, what I do is I watch how you act and I watch how you talk. And if I see that you still in cahoots with a pedophile, listen to what I'm saying to you now. What is it I'm getting ready to say that's going to make a difference? Nothing. Not a damn thing. So I'm going to let you think that I don't know what the fuck you doing. And I'm going to let you have that moment. But I'm going to also let you know Queen still woke. So when the pedophile come around and I walk off and they try to grab Queen by the arm or, hey, I want to holler at you. I ain't interested. Because see, that's how I roll. I do it loud enough where everybody can say, why the hell she screaming? Yeah, that part. You see where I'm going?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. She don't want him. You motherfucking right. Because you allowing this pedophile to still be around and we grown. See, I've learned about people. You can't say certain things to people when they're in cahoots with the enemy. It doesn't matter. You can come to them directly and say, okay, you know this person did this to me, or she, or Pookie, or Ray Ray, or the kids. But if they still continue after that part saying something, then they letting you know they went to shit. So now what I'm supposed to do now? Not now say what, cut my mama off? Cut. You see where I'm going? That's what I'm telling you. You can say something. It won't make a bit of difference if everybody ain't going to jump on board and say, we're going to cut this Negro off for the shit that he been doing, because you still got people who going to ride or die and still fuck with his ass. And that's where the problem is. They still going to fuck with him knowing he going to mess with their kids or Ray Ray's kids or the street kids or whomever. See, I'm one of the type of queens. I ain't gonna argue with you about nothing. Most people tell you the street about me. Queen ain't gonna argue with you. I pick and choose who I argue with. That foolishness like that, what we talking about right now, I ain't never. Because once I go back to childhood and see you allow somebody to come around your kids knowing they molested you, and then somebody come to you and tell you, oh, they molested your kid, and you still let them around, the hell I'm going to say to you when I'm grown? You let me know you with the shit. So ain't nothing I can tell you. You like that shit. You aided the child molester to be around your damn kids. You know the child molester blessed you. So what I'm going to tell you now, and I'm grown? Nothing. Shit, you got to sleep with that. I'm going to let you sleep with it too. I ain't about to be arguing with nobody about no damn child molester. Not now. Not never.
And I hear you. And
yeah, I'm just trying to let you know. We know about secrets, because trust me, Queen could tell you a story if she wanted to.
Yeah.
Queen could tell you.
I'm just different.
Yeah, look, you know the Queen boisterous, but I choose my battles.
And so do I, and I pick and choose
to say something. Okay, right, you want to say something. All I'm saying is I don't want you to end up falling out with this young lady if you all could actually have a relationship. That's all I'm saying. Don't cross a bridge you don't got to cross yet. I'd rather you go to her first. And
if that happens before then yes, I'll definitely talk to her, because if I do see her or whatever, I'm definitely going to talk to her, because I'm not the type that is going to sugarcoat or anything. I'm going to talk to her and let her know.
Okay, let me let you see what Air Force said. Nene knows you may conquer at the reunion with the info, but do you think you will divide the family? Plus, do you think that she will stick by you while you speak or leave you hanging?
I don't need no support. And that's what I tell people. I don't need supporters. I don't need people to agree with me. I don't need people. I don't need co-signers. I don't need any of that because my truth is the truth. And I don't like people that wait and, oh, well, let's see if this, that person gonna do it. Let's see if that. I don't need no supporters. When I say something, I'm gonna speak the truth, and it is the truth, and then y'all can discuss that. Now you have it. You can choose to agree with it or choose to disagree with it, accept it, reject it.
Let me spin your web. Let me spin your web. A mother knew that her brother was a child molester.
Mm-hmm.
He molested her and her sister.
That's in my family too.
Just listen, Nene, listen to me. The mother knew when she had girl children that he was a child molester. Yet she let the man come around her kids anyway. So one of her children told her, hey, this one, a sibling, said he touched her. The mother never responded. But yet she would still let the brother come around her children until death. Years later, one of the other siblings, a boy child, would make comments about the other sibling, saying, she's crazy. She's always talking about him. We heard the rumors that he touched her, blah, blah, blah. But what he didn't know is that his mother aided the brother.
Mm-hmm.
So he's carrying this, what's the word I'm looking for?
Hatred towards
whatever. The uncle, what he doesn't know, his mother rode the ride.
Mm-hmm.
Who, listen at me good, who is going to tell him your mama knew all along he was a child molester because he messed with her and his sisters growing up.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why nobody probably has said anything to him, because they know he favors his dead mother.
Mm-hmm.
Now do you see where I'm going?
Yeah, they needed to free him.
But let me tell you something about freedom. Because I speak it doesn't mean it will be received. That's the point I'm trying to make to you, Nene.
Okay.
That just because it's spoken does not mean it will be received.
Okay, so
see, everybody already knew about the uncle. That's what I'm trying to make you.
Yeah. Well, there's another side. You know, you have two sides of your family. You got your
what I'm
mother's
trying to
side and you
explain
have
to
your
you
father's
is
side.
everybody knows about a child molester. I'm speaking. I'm trying to let you understand what I'm saying. Everybody knows this person was a child molester, but they don't know that certain people aided him. They didn't know that part because nobody told them that the mother always knew. So it didn't matter about people whispering about the motherfucker. They didn't know, some of them, that the mother always knew. So she allowed him to go around her children. So whether you speak it, holler it, put it on a banner, lots of people already knew. Now you get my drift?
Yeah, he didn't know.
No, the boy child did not know.
Yeah.
And still don't know. And why say anything? Because he will always favor his mama.
But he should still know the truth about his mother.
Okay, well,
because you favoring her without all the information.
Nay, good luck with that.
No, so let me tell you, on my opposite side of my family, that same thing happened. Mm-hmm. And when I found out about it, I told all of them. So there was no more denying. My grandmother couldn't deny it. The brothers couldn't deny it. The sisters couldn't deny it, and they had to deal with it. And it was, and like I said, y'all don't understand why certain people will never be around y'all unless I'm there. That's the only time they're going to be there. And you can either respect it or not, but that happened on a whole nother side. And then it took for my generation to come out and talk about it, because I'm not going to hide anything. And I guess I get this from my job and investigating and doing all that stuff. And I find out, you know, hiding it is not helping it. We need to open it up, quit putting band-aids on.
Let me tell you something. I don't want you to think that I agree with that type of behavior. I do not.
Right.
The thing that the queen has learned from being 50 is that there are certain people that you are not going to coerce into believing the truth. That's the point I'm making. Is that when you've heard them talk and listen at the way they talk, you know what you can and cannot say. Whether you choose to tell what was said, happened, there is always going to be that one or two that will say, like I just said, oh yeah, I know he molested, but that person is not going to believe that they mammy aided the molester. Now you see what I'm saying? They know that the man was a molester, but they ain't going to be able to accept that they mama knew. The mama knew all along he was molested.
Oh, where's the chat?
That's
Hold on.
the part where they're going to be like, well, what you mean? Mama knew. See what I'm saying?
Just me.
A good regard for their mother, father. Now you're going to tell them about a dead person. That's what you think what I'm saying. Now I'm going to come tell them about a dead person that they've revered was foul. Oh yeah, it's going to be some smoke in the city. I've just learned not to argue with certain people about certain things because.
And I agree. And my intention.
And that's the only thing nothing.
The only thing I'm responsible for is my intention. Now, how people take it and how people receive it, that's on them. Yeah. But my intention, I'm going in with a clear mind.
But I just don't want you to end up falling out with this girl, your relative, when you could have gone to her first and talked to her. Because I'm going to tell you, if I heard my name in your mouth and you repeating something about somebody touching me, yeah, I'm going to feel some type of motherfucking way. I'm going to keep it real. Because first time I'm going to say, why the fuck you discussing me? Because you feel the same way. Why? What you discussing me for? Why you discussing me? Because you got to remember, if she ain't never just came out verbatim and said, "Hey, my daddy been touching me," it's gonna be some smoke when Nene name attached to it. And whether it's Nene name, Pookie name, Shamika name, she gonna feel some type of way. Because if she only told the one person, two people, and now folks come back, girl, that Nene said, and Nene said. I'm telling you, it's a recipe for disaster. If you want to go to her one-on-one and hold a talk with her, cool, copacetic. But then too, if you really don't know her like that and you don't know her mindset, hell, she can flip out just you coming to her mentioning it. Because the first thing she's still going to say is, who told you? I ain't told you shit about my daddy touching me. You see where I'm going? You don't really know how she can flip out. Wow, this shit is deep.
Yeah, it's okay. I'd rather her have a reaction than none at all. But I'm listening to what everyone's saying. I'm listening, Queen. I'm listening.
Do you want to go to her? Let's ask that, and I'll let Not Al speak. Do you want to go to her?
I would love to go to her.
Do you plan to go to her?
If I come in contact with her, yes. If she's there and I come in contact with her, even before any contact. Okay. If I see her before then, I'm definitely going to say something.
Nene, can you find her now?
Yeah. Okay. I'm not going to lie.
Okay. Okay then. So don't you think that'd be the most appropriate way to do that?
Yeah. Okay. I'm listening.
Okay. Go ahead, Not Al.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying, and I'm just saying, like, if you could reach out to her one-on-one to kind of see where she's at mentally, and with revealing these secrets, do you ever feel retaliation? Because you mentioned that the brother had guns and his name's for the molester. You know, with this coming out, could he cause harm to you and your family?
No, I think he'll cause harm to his brother, but I don't care. Your brother is nasty, so I'm not hey, he gets what he gets, because I'm sure his daughter ain't his only victim. You don't wait till you grown and have sex with your own creation.
That just floored me, because I was just like, come on, dude.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure
fight back and all that.
Once we dig deeper, it's gonna be more. He gonna have more bodies that he to mess with. But I'm not trying to dig deeper and all that stuff. But I will respect her enough, and I do know enough and smart enough to give her that respect, to let her know that, you know, it has been discussed and it needs to come to light. So I will respect her, because I'm not trying to hurt her in any way. And I'm not trying to hurt anybody else. But the truth needs to be told, and I don't like hiding the truth when it can be healing at the end. And I just ain't never rock like that. Anybody that know me, and that's just my makeup. I'm sorry. And I don't make apologies.
I just want you to think first, because I just would hate for you to go full blast, because I just feel like this is just me personally. Just who I am. A family reunion party, weddings, to me, it's like reality TV. That's not the time for that. You already know those people that's going to this function already knows or heard of the secret of who did what and shot JR. You already know that. But to start some shit at a function is not right. To me, it's reality TV. Don't do that, because, like I said, when I watch shit like The Housewives and all that, you had all motherfucking day and week to go say what the fuck you want to say about somebody. Why the hell you wait till y'all go on a trip, go to Africa, New York, Italy, decide you want to start talking about what somebody's husband did or what somebody said to you yesterday or on Instagram? You see where I'm going? Speak that before you board the flight. That's how I look at it. So you got the chance right now. You want to say something to somebody, family members, about, hey, I heard this, I don't care for him. Okay, cool. But the thing about even repeating that is you got to mention that. You got to mention the survivor in that damn gossip. That's the fucked up part. It's not like you say he touched me. You can tell that all day. Yeah, that nigga touched me. He touched me. But it's not the same with I heard he touched his kid. That's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah, and like Queen say, some still will ride with him. I mean, in my family, we recently buried an attacker of my aunt. We buried him in December, and I mean, it's been a story, like Queen said.
Mm-hmm.
After I got attacked about 12, 13 years old. I was told a story, and the story went like this. It was two sisters. One sister had a boyfriend. So one night, the baby sister went over to the older sister's house and asked the boyfriend to take her home. Long story short, the sister come in the house hooping, hollering, screaming. She'd been attacked. When she was asked who attacked her, she named a person, which was my grandmother's boyfriend at the time. Mm-hmm. So during this time, many people, I would say African Americans, didn't understand that you don't take a bath or anything like that after an attack. You know, they save the clothing after they've been washed, that, you know, you possibly wash away DNA. So when the aunt told, the word got out who the attacker was, charges were pressed, police were called out, all that. It became a divided web between two sisters. You had the one sister with the boyfriend that said he would never do that. That never happened. And the baby sister who had the support of her parents and family members that believed, yeah, this happened to her. She wouldn't have came home and made up this lie at 16, 17 years old. And for over 50 plus years, that one night has destroyed my family. And I always felt weird that my grandmother married the man and that she chose to believe him. It made me look differently at them. And I could never be comfortable or have my children around him alone because of that. And that secret has been an open secret for over 50 plus years. And the sad part is we buried him in December and we buried her last Saturday. And I'm one of the ones that said, well, hopefully my aunt can get the closure and peace that she's craved for all these years because she turned to drugs. She got into an abusive marriage. I mean, she just went downhill. That's why I asked, where's the mental state of the survivor? And me and her relate on that simply because once you survive the R word and multiple times, well, I'm multiple times. To my knowledge, it was the one time with her. It definitely changes your outlook when people rally the molester.
Mm-hmm.
It does something to my whole being when people rally and say that couldn't have happened. That was a good person. They go to church every Sunday. They iron their clothes. They got a bank account. They got a nice car. And I say to myself, and they are the ones that's doing your kids. And that's why I ask, because it has divided my family. And I always say to my older aunts, they all in their 70s now, and they always say, yeah, we believe he did it. And I always ask, how were y'all ever comfortable around him? Because I learned this at 13, 14 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And I always wondered why my aunt stayed away. Why did she come home that much? Or I did. And once I put two and two together, I wondered, how did my grandmother marry a man that was a boyfriend that ought her sister? Because she always said that her sister was lying. She was starving for attention. She wanted to be noticed.
Yeah.
My rapist said, I wanted it. I was cute.
Mm-hmm.
I wore dresses for it. And so it does something to me when I hear people say that type of stuff. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, you hot, you fast, you grown up enough for it. You a big girl for it.
About young girls, they wanted it. She hot. She came on to that man. Blah blah blah. That's a nasty thing to say about a girl. I don't care if a girl is fast or hot or whatever word you're going to use. Did it ever occur to you she fast or hot because somebody been doing something to her they had no business?
I was a virgin, and so, and I laugh at it because it was the most despicable act. And like I said about I mean, we just buried them back to back. But I always felt that way about them. I never could get comfortable. I didn't understand why people accepted it. I always wanted to know were people uncomfortable about it, because like the police were calling, nothing they could do because the evidence had been washed. And, you know, my grandmother them told her to take a bath. They believed her. They pressed charges. They did not uphold that. But I always wondered, how was that okay? So I understand about breaking generational curses. Mm-hmm. I understand about speaking out. I just always empathize with survivors and be like, do you want to tell? Do you want to say this? Do you want to say that? In my case, I had incest and rape. So imagine, I just removed myself from the family and removed my children, like y'all say. And my children never been around the ancestors. They never been like alone. We never go to family functions, birthdays, holiday, nothing. I don't accept them on Facebook. None of that. None of that. Because I didn't keep the secret. I just said what it was. And, you know, people say what they say. And it's a divide. It's a divide. And I'm very isolated.
Sam.
And
see, I don't say nothing. Because I'm trying to tell you, I'm just one of the type of people. I'm very opinionated, but I know when to be quiet. Sometimes, let's say. I ain't getting ready to argue with nobody about no damn child molester. That's the queen. I ain't gonna never. You want to keep talking about a damn pedophile? That's on you. But you come to me getting to talking about, what did you do? And I'm just gonna look at you to give you that look like, oh yeah, that heifer no. Okay, back up. Stop talking.
Okay. In much respect to you, Night Owl, and your family and your story, and I would have never trusted that person or anything like that. Mm-hmm. And
that's what I'm saying. Like, I get what you're saying. Like, is it other kids and what they do this? See, and I had to think of number one. I said, y'all know, people know I'm not taking my kids to be alone. I love people, you know, because I was raised with family. But then I just always be like, do y'all ever wonder about y'all kids? And I would tell my female cousins, I wouldn't go around so-and-so. Why? I just don't trust them. I would tell them, I mean, I know that's your uncle, but you know, so y'all might be cool and like the music and hanging out. I don't go to that. Why don't you come to that? I'm busy, or I don't, you know, have the time. I'm busy that weekend or whatever. And they just be like, well, you never go to so-and-so. No, I would never. And then I finally had to just go on and tell one of them, no, so and so is a molester, so and so is a pervert, so and so does this. Keep your kids away. I sent out APSA. I don't trust so and so. I don't know. My kids will never know so and so. I don't care if it's a wedding or if you know what I do with my little kid. Used to have my little kids with me and my little husband. And when everything is over, I take my little kids and my little husband and exit on back. You don't want to go to so and so? No. No. They always wonder, why are you so distant? Why are you so frigid? That's why.
But
and
they know.
Oh, well,
most people know, like I just said,
well,
most people know who the molester is, but they aid them. So you could holler, scream, cuss all day. Like I said, if it's your plight, you know they've done something to you, you want to speak your piece, you got that right. I don't tell nobody they can't speak their own piece. But when you start throwing out other people's names, that's where the problem's gonna come in, because if they are not speaking up, it's just you out there hollering and screaming about what you think Pookie Ray Ray did to somebody. But I'm gonna tell you something that's crazy. How is a grown ass man gonna say somebody's grown ass niece how she look in a bathing suit? I'll wait.
Point of question. Let me tell you something.
That's why I keep trying to tell you now. Queen can testify if she really wanted to. Baby,
I'm gonna testify for you. I was in my 20s.
Yes, ain't
my ancestor.
I ain't arguing with nobody about no molester.
His youngest brother. Same family members, we all blood cousins. My ancestor brother married a woman. The woman was an RN. And he was on all type of drugs and all this. She's way older. He's younger. He's in his 20s. She's in his 30s. She had some daughters. And they were teenagers. So they all moved in to his family home, where I'm from. Well, she used to go to work. So our RNs work 12-hour shifts. Well, her daughter comes up pregnant at 15, 16 years old. They want to know who's the young boy. They got her pregnant. Lo and behold, it was her husband, the girl's stepdaddy, my cousin. It was his baby. He got her daughter pregnant. And the sick part was his parent got him out of town to avoid facing charges. And my cousin, his parent, helped keep the little girl. See, that's why I say I know it go deep.
Well, much respect to all the stories.
Did I tell you, it's crazy, ain't it, girl?
Yeah, because that one was crazy too. However, any story y'all got, I promise I can beat it.
I don't want to beat it.
Now you can't say that.
Oh, okay, Queen. You ain't testified. You ain't testified. But hold on.
You don't know, because you don't know what we all been through, just because we ain't telling you everything. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, if the queen has been telling you little bits and pieces, that should tell you something right there.
Okay, so I shouldn't say that. Let me retract that. Let me reclaim my words, as Maxine Waters would say, reclaiming my words. Yes. But I have a story, and I had to break this story within the family.
Okay,
break it.
Damn, not that.
So, yeah. So, and I had to break this, and in my own truth, I only speak the truth.
Okay.
So, now there's a lot of kids in the family. I ain't gonna say how many and all this, because people might figure out. But there's a lot of kids.
They not heard your damn voice up here on the Everyday Shenanigans. Shut your mouth.
Yeah, they have. But if they want to call me, my family already know the real deal. They already know.
Let me ask you this, Nana. You ain't told them you be on this channel, do you?
No, I told you. My man.
She talking out, but she ain't told that part.
That's why I had to change my name and all that stuff. They would never think a name.
I do that shenanigans. They'd be like that.
Oh no, they would be like, girl, you telling all the goddamn secrets. You crazy.
Okay.
I said, and my voice is distinct, so they gonna definitely know my voice if they ever heard it.
Oh Lord.
So I had to drop the ball that my auntie was my auntie's daughter instead of my granny's daughter. Okay. So y'all get what I'm saying? What? Yeah, Night Owl. Say, huh, Night Owl?
What she say?
Say that again.
So I had to drop the story that my auntie is allegedly, I guess she would be my cousin, because she would be, my grandmother raised her as her own daughter. Come to find out, the oldest daughter said that was her daughter.
So wait a minute. So your auntie raised a child that was...
No, my grandmother raised a child that was her daughter's as her daughter.
So your grandmama raised a child as not her own?
As her own, but it was her oldest daughter.
So her child had the child.
That's what came out.
Folks been doing that for years. White folks do it all the time. Shut your mouth.
Oh, that's white folks, but not in our family, because we didn't roll like that until the story came out.
And I ain't trying to be racist, but a lot of white people do that.
Yeah, but
let me tell you something about a serial killer that most people don't know of did that. Ted Bundy.
He didn't know his...
Listen, Ted Bundy thought his sister was his sister, but his sister was
his mom.
Yes.
Well, in that family. Well, not in that family. But in that story.
The secrets grew from infancy.
Yeah.
That's why you don't do secrets. Because
and that's why I said they destroyed.
How it's going to turn out.
Because when I told it, and she then am I talking, because that's what I do.
Okay. Well, let me
never thought that she would internalize it and stuff, and then now the family still want it.
I see I'm gonna have to just really go in the belly of the beast right now, because I'm already 2 minutes and 31 minutes in. It's very late. Let me school something to y'all.
It's not late, Queen. It's not even midnight.
It is late, but it's 3 hours in. I don't like my lives to go long, because I have to think about people who are not used to me. That's too long for somebody to watch a YouTube video. 2 hours.
It need to be a part two.
Especially somebody that's not used to my content. Let me explain. Queen gonna keep it real with you. As I stated to you, a woman knew her brother was a child molester. She knew this, and she never did anything about it. And she allowed this man to keep coming around her fucking kids. She was a dirty bird. No matter if this child believed this is the mother or that child or Pookie or Ray Ray, the people in the church, the children knew, the child knew. And let me tell you something about this story. The disturbing part is to hear one of the sisters confess that they knew he had been messing with one of her sister's children, because she said, I knew when he reached for her, she started to scream. And I knew he had been touching her. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Mm-hmm.
She knew when he reached for the niece as a baby girl that, oh my God, my brother is messing with my niece. So why is this sister got this man around her children? So the children grow up, and one of the children has a friend. And before everybody knows it, the uncle, who is the child molester, is now fucking
with the friend,
who is 2 years older than his niece. So now the mother is watching her girl child hang around her brother and her child's friend. Are you following me? Nobody says a fucking thing. The mother of the girl don't say nothing. The girl has had a baby at 15 years of age. Big deal. Smart as a whip, but sexually active. Fast forward. Same uncle has been touching his sister's baby daughter. She does nothing about it. You see, somebody, yes, has to say to that person, you need to fuck off. You need to fuck off. But until then, he, like so many other men, will continue to molest little girls, their own children, other people's children, until somebody puts him down like a rabid dog. Not no jail, not no prison, but put his ass down. Been going on. Been going on. And it ain't gonna stop until death. So now we have to ask ourselves, if he touched his own sisters, he touched his nieces, what the hell was he doing with his own daughters? Because they seem to uphold the father. Shut your mouth. And let the queen tell you, queen heard the rumor that he was molesting the girl children as well. But years later, you don't hear anything negative coming out those girls' mouths about their father. Now, do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yeah. I understand.
Okay.
Totally.
Sick. Ooh, some sick motherfucker.
Yeah, I don't even know who to blame in that situation.
Yeah, because you see, in the end, there'll always be somebody that will aid the child molester. There will always be somebody that will aid the child molester, even his own fucking kids. Even though we heard the stories that he was touching his children when they were younger. And we know he touched his nieces. We know he touched his sisters now as children. We know this. And everybody whispered it under their breath, but they still hung around him. So what difference would it make if somebody decide to yell out at a family reunion, birthday party, Thanksgiving dinner, yo, we know you're a child molester? Would it matter? Because the people there already know this. The victim may feel good, survivor, whomever. But what difference will it make if everybody that knows is still ride or die? That's my point. That you still gonna be hanging around people, whether you yell it, whisper it, say it out loud, them same people are gonna ride or die with the child molester.
I hear you.
Y'all
no,
quiet?
No, I hear you, and I hear everything you're saying.
Yeah.
And
I'm spinning a true story.
Right.
That it didn't matter in the end. That I don't think it would have ever mattered if anybody had ever said anything to him directly. There were people who just refused to call a spade a spade. So what difference would it have made had somebody said something? Because there was going to be people who didn't want to admit that they knew he was who he was. They still fucked with him. They still fuck with him.
Exactly what I'm saying about my family. People still okay.
That's the thing.
So
it ain't even a matter that they didn't know. We know they now know. Because too many people was talking about it. They knew. But they fuck with him anyway.
Exactly. And they uphold it. And I mean, I have a problem with that.
They have a problem, yeah. Because that's why I said, what am I getting ready to argue with you about when I see you fucking with this nigga? What am I
And
getting ready to say to your ass? Nothing. You let me know. You ride or die. So I can cuss you out and argue all day. You still messing with him when you know he touched you. So what am I getting ready to say to you when you know you was original victim? You the
Right.
So I can cuss and fuss all day. For what? You still fucking with this Negro. So it's pointless to say anything. Once you get a consensus that everybody's in on the shit, like I said, that cloak and dagger bullshit, you're wasting your time saying anything. You could just say for the record, hey, y'all with the shit. Y'all know he like this, she like this. I ain't fucking with y'all. That's the only thing you can really say if you decide you just want to cut everybody out. Hey, you with the shit. I ain't coming around. I ain't doing Thanksgiving. I ain't doing 4th of July because y'all with that shit. Y'all ain't this fucking child molester. I get it. That's the only way. You say your piece and then you walk on. Because if you hang around, then it's like, okay, you in cahoots too.
Mm-hmm. That's why I'm isolated. Because once a baby was produced, and I'm thinking to myself, but that would make this person a molester, and y'all okay with it?
Yeah, y'all okay with it.
Then, okay. No. If it was my kids, same thing. You cut off. Because something is wrong with you.
Let me tell you something how crazy this shit is. How the fuck a mama who got molested by the fucking brother go tell an elderly person, oh, I hear he messing with his children. Motherfucker, he was fucking with you as a child.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you gonna go tell another motherfucker grown, an old ass lady. Oh, by the way, the rumor is he messing with his little girls, but he touched you. And you still fucking with him. Now you get it? So, what the hell somebody get ready to say to this older woman about her fucking brother when you knew he was fucking with you? You knew your own child came to you to tell you he's fucking with your baby kid. You still kept this Negro around. And now you're going to repeat to another fucking outsider that you hear he fucking his kids. And you still fuck with your brother. I'm on the real with you tonight.
Yeah.
So ain't nothing you can say to these people. It's a waste of time.
And that's definitely sickening. Like, it's sickening.
It is sickening. It's beyond sickening. And it's a generational thing that keeps repeating and repeating. And until somebody breaks the cycle.
The people are riding the ride. I know of a one now, an older niece, still will mention the uncle. And it's like, bitch, you know, motherfucker, well, this man been out here touching y'all, nieces and all that. What the fuck is you still talking about this dead-ass Negro? Man, going with all that. But that's the point. What you gonna argue with her about? You can't change her mind. Motherfucker almost 50 still want to talk about a dead-ass child molester. What that tell you? The cousin, she's still talking about a dead-ass child molester? So somebody can look at it like, damn, y'all like it? You like your uncle touching you? Why the fuck you still talking about a dead-ass child molester? Because like you say, it's grooming. It's grooming.
Like I said, I couldn't get
rid of messed up. You grown and still talking about a child molester. That's real. That's the fucked up part. Not the child molester itself. That you grown and know that person touched you. You still talking about him like he all that.
Like ain't nothing ever happened. Like we don't know. Like,
your ass sick.
And when your family know it's talking about we still gonna support you, good or bad, and we gonna pray for you. Baby, I was done when I seen that on Facebook. That let me knew then that y'all ride for that.
Hey, okay. Let me tell you something about the Queen. When somebody came and said, "Did you hear he died?" Biggest smile.
Oh, yeah.
I ain't even flinch. I ain't even flinch.
Well, I almost got a whooping.
He died of a heart attack. I didn't even respond.
Well, I
All
almost
right.
got a whooping because I was happy one of the molesters died. So I almost got a whooping.
Girl, what? You
Yeah.
were turning wheel.
Shit.
Yes. And they said I was
Let me say
inappropriate, but I
something.
said I'm
Let
glad
me
he
say
did.
something. That's why I keep trying to tell you. Sometimes you ain't got to say nothing. That not saying nothing said it. When I didn't respond, you should have got the message then. What you telling me for? Don't talk to me about no child molester. Not now, not never.
But people will fix their list and say, well, they can change. And that,
No,
and I
you
say to
can't
myself, I
do
tell
child
you
molester.
what,
That's been
you go
proved.
around
You can't.
long enough.
That's just a deviant behavior that don't change. They've got studies. They've got proof. It's just a hard deviant behavior that does not change. That rape, it is hard for rapists to stop raping. Molesting kids is all the same.
They families will make you think it's not.
They tell you that. I know that if you let me out, I will reoffend.
We're going to ride with you. We know, no matter what, we family. The
Matter of fact, I'm going to tell you how you do it. Get in that box with them when it goes 6 feet down. Climb your ass in there. Gee, that's how I feel. I don't give a damn if you. I don't give a damn if you my mama or my daddy. You ride with a child molester, climb your black ass down in that hole and cover your ass up with him. And that's on God.
I ain't laughing at the situation, but I'm like,
right.
No, that's just how I feel. You ride with a child molester.
I'm gonna use that one.
They leave here, climb your black ass down in that fucking casket with them, and shut the lid and ask me to help you, because I surely will.
We're gonna throw a party after. I'll help you throw the dirt if I got to get it with my fingernail.
I'm not gonna never condone nobody that fucks with kids. That's it. I don't give a damn that you was related to me. I don't care. Because you don't have no right touching somebody's child. And that's the bottom line.
And I agree with you 100%. And like I said, I've always protected kids. And to this day, if a kid comes to my house, I'm asking questions. Everybody knows that. But it's just who I am. And they can take with the information whatever they want to. Yeah. I'm not looking for it.
I'm gonna tell you, look, baby, I'm gonna tell you this from my old head.
Yeah.
Best thing to do, if you know these people ride or die with a child molester and they fully grown and know better, just cut your losses and leave them alone. That's the best thing to do.
Yeah, this is the only reason.
You ain't got to go off about nothing. You see these people still ride or die. My thing is, I wouldn't even fuck with them. So I ain't got to say nothing to you because you are letting me know what you about. So we ain't got nothing to talk about.
Right. The only thing is, I think that this is new. I don't know what the older people know about him. None of us do because we're the next generation. So we don't know that.
But listen, but let me ask you this. How old is the man that we're talking about?
He has to be about 50. He's older than me.
Okay. So
yeah.
I'm gonna do you one better. Ask yourself that question again.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Got you.
They already know.
Got you.
Yeah, they know. Because you got to remember, that's what you got to remember. Something at 50, somebody brought that Negro here.
That makes sense.
And if you younger than him and heard it, you think somebody old didn't hear it?
Yeah, and the same thing I said. He didn't wait till he was 50 to mess with his child.
And that's it. Amen.
So you're right. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Point taken.
Yeah, that secret been in the dirt.
Yeah, you're right on. Ta-da! Ting, 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 ting.
That's okay.
But I just said it earlier. I wasn't even. Yeah. So, like I said, assume
that
there's
secret,
other, but you know.
that secret been probably circulating for 40 years, boo boo.
Yeah, and now our generation is finding out, and yeah, I got it.
9 times out of 10, somebody touched him. He grew up touching children. He was touching children probably as a child. Touched. He grew up, didn't get no help. He touching kids. That's all he knows.
I got it.
That's all he knows. And that's the thing about being molested. If you don't get help for those thoughts, you're going to offend. And that's the sad part about child molestation. Nobody asks to be touched. And that's what some of us don't really think about, is that most child molesters were molested. So they were tainted and robbed. And then now they are fantasizing about children. And it's not their fault. Somebody violated them, but they don't get help. They don't tell anybody, let's say. So now they're carrying around that wound. You understand? You got to think about that. That's some deep shit. You a child yourself, walking around, been touched, raped, whatever they did to you. You don't tell nobody, or maybe perhaps it comes out. Now you're a teenager. Now you fantasizing about messing with another damn kid. You don't tell nobody. Now you grown. You on your own. You on your own. And now the law says you mess with old boy, old girl, you going to jail. I don't give a damn about who touched you. It's 7, 8, 6, infancy. You grown. You got to ride the ride. That's what's messed up. Because if people could come out early and say, somebody touched me, I'm having those kind of thoughts, maybe they could get the help and help perturb them from wanting to touch another kid. But most people know that when you're touched, most people don't go get help. That's why when they turn grown, they're now touching children because somebody touched them. It's really a wicked cycle. It's a wicked cycle. You know, I'm sitting here thinking about this, a grown man touching his nieces and children. That makes me think, okay, well, 9 times out of 10, somebody was touching him as a kid. Who? Was his daddy touching him? You feel me?
Oh, yeah. And I definitely know.
Touching him? Because we know 9 times out of 10, this motherfucker that we call a demon, somebody touched him.
Yeah. I guess the problem I have, and it's not even a problem, it just is what it is that they don't seek help. Because like I said, anytime, if I ever find a kid, a boy, and, you know, I get little 25-year-olds like, hey, boy, you are a child to me. At 25, you still a child to me. Yeah. But definitely, if I'm my age now and I find myself attracted to a child, I'm calling my counselor, AEP, or I think it's EAP. I'm going to call them like, hey, I just had a dream or some feelings about a little boy. I need to get in there. We can do Zoom right now because the virus.
People don't. See,
I need to get in there.
What's wrong with the world right now? People don't express those desires that they know is deviant because they know they don't want to look at them in that way, because you're going to look at them that way. Like, what the fuck you doing? Talking about you want to sleep with a little girl or a baby? Right. Who wants to tell somebody, yeah, I like little kids? Do you understand what I'm saying? That's the reason why we have. Why we have R. Kelly in the situation he in. He was never able to be a child. You got a mama that didn't want to let her golden boy come outside. Yeah, Queen keeps at 100.
Yeah,
Queen keeps at 100. Mama didn't want that golden boy outside. You sheltered him from the world. That's why he couldn't learn anything. He didn't learn no coping skills. So by the time R. Kelly got into the groove of liking himself, oh man, it was way too late. Because by then, he was already tainted. Because the neighbor had been touching him. You understand what I'm saying? His sister had been touching him. He was double tainted.
And you got to be mindful of your kids playing house with their kids. That stuff is just
like I said, that's normal.
Get it.
We know how normal it is. Children going to touch parts, even if ain't nobody ever touched them. Because it's just normal to be looking like, what's that? What's that? Okay. But once you see some things that don't look appropriate, that is your job to say to your child, you don't touch her there. You don't touch him there. You understand what I'm saying? You got to nip that in the bud day one. Day one. So as you don't have a problem down the road. Down the road. But that is the reason why we have sexual offenders, is because nobody ever talked to these people about sex, desires, erections, these type of things. Naturally, a lot of people come from the old school where people didn't talk about those things, and those said people, children, didn't feel comfortable to talk to their parents about, hey, I'm having these desires, or I'm craving, to be touched, or sex, or to touch somebody, and or mess with children. Who's going to tell their parents that? Hey, I'm getting erections often, or I'm feeling like this often. Nobody's going to tell their parent that. They're going to tell their parent that. And that's why when you look up, you got all these problems. Overly sexed men, overly sexed women got to have it all the time. You hear men say that, I gotta have it 3 times a day. Oh, Negro, you need wait. Nigga, do you work? What you talking about? Now, damn. Excuse my language.
That's true. I think who was saying
ain't nothing wrong with wanting to get a little something. Damn, you got look what they say. We gotta eat.
You gotta come up for some air.
Look, we gotta eat. We gotta get some air. What you talking about?
Yeah, you gotta come up.
That's the truth. Okay, 2 times a day. Damn, somebody gonna be on a stretcher. What? At some point, and like I said, we just on. But I'm very leery when somebody starts talking like they just gotta have it all the time. You first, and you might be a woman and say, okay, sure, I can go along with it, until you get in there and be like, shoot, he trying to send me.
But one thing I learned in my life is the roles do reverse.
You know what, y'all?
Because right now,
how y'all know it?
Yeah, right now, you would think I was a man.
I can't fool with y'all.
And I'm like, oh, they did reverse.
y'all, man.
So I understand.
Well, after this conversation you'd had with the Queen and Night Owl and everybody and their baby mamas, what you think now?
Me?
Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm. About saying something.
I am going to address her.
Okay.
To see where she is. And not only that, like, I do want to, encourage her to get services, this, that, and the other, because I'm the resource lady. Mm-hmm. I'm the level-headed.
Because possibly besides just trying to put somebody on blast, she may need some help, baby.
Yeah. And my goal is not to put her on blast in any way, or to damage her any more than she's already been damaged, because I understand that. And plus, she was a child of the system when I've raised kids in the system. Okay. So I definitely don't want to damage her any more than she has been.
Right.
And then with everybody else, they all grown. They already know who and how I am. Mm-hmm. And they respect it. And I've always had a good relationship with both sides of my family, my mom's, my dad's. Like, that's never been a thing. But they also know that I will bring the truth.
Okay.
And I won't sugarcoat it. And then I don't argue it with any of them. I say what I say, and then I leave it at that. Like, I'm not one that I'm not an arguer. Like, I can't do the arguing thing. Like, a lot of people got slick words, and I'm like, girl, all that talking you do don't get you beat up, because I don't have time have time for talking. And I'm not a fighter like that either. Let me put that out there. We're way too old for that.
Yeah.
But I am the one that says what I say. You're not
really supposed to fight and argue for the truth. No way.
Yeah. I say what I say, and you accept it or you reject it. I don't go in between. Like, I'm not trying to persuade you to see this. I'm not trying to convince you to agree with me or to disagree with me. Right. All I'm trying to say is what's real and what it is. And everybody has a choice to accept it or reject it. And that's it. But that's just me. And that's just how I've been built, am built, and I don't think that'll ever change about me.
Right.
But never with the intention of harming someone. So I definitely don't want to make her a victim of another victim in that situation. So I will respect that. And I know better in the beginning. I'm like, I'm gonna say this, but at the same time, now I do have a sister that don't process stuff like I do. So what she says is on her. But me, I'm very level-headed and I will bring the truth. But at the same time, with respect to her and to get her where she needs to be, because I've been there with her. Like I know how to deal with that piece.
Okay. Well, the night out. What you guys say, baby? Well, check out of here, Lord Jesus.
That's it. It's just been an interesting night, and I gave my 5-minute rant. And so I'm good.
I've enjoyed you all. I have. Hello, humbly melanated. How you doing? Thank you. Hi, Joelle. Thank you. Go ahead, Night Out. I'm sorry.
Oh, that was it. I was done.
What'd you say? I ain't hear you.
Oh, I said it was a good night, a good live.
They didn't had us locked in, did you not? Shut your mouth.
Oh, wait. I didn't mean to do all that. I just wanted to talk about one thing that I don't even remember what it was in the beginning, but yeah.
That's okay. But, like I said, I'll let you all give y'all opinion because some people think I don't. And I'll let y'all speak. But as I've gotten older, I just realized there's just certain things I just ain't gonna argue with nobody about. I mean, I think what my thing is, I'm different with men. I think I'm more combative with men. Like if I like somebody or I'm interested, that's somebody I'm probably combative with. But this other type of stuff, like what we talking about right now, or female type, he said, she said, nah, Queen don't do that. If I'm trying to voice my opinion with a man, like I'm trying to tell you something like, hey, I don't like this. Woo. Okay. But as far as this stuff we talking about with other people, I know you're wasting your time. Because I know people. You understand what I'm saying? If I've been around you and I've watched how you carry yourself and things, I know if I should or should not say something to you about the matter. If I saw that you aided a situation, what is it that I'm going to say to you that's going to make a difference? Yeah, I think there's times when you should speak up about certain things with people, but I've learned that if I came to you and talked to you about something and I saw how you acted and you played dumb, then I know I can't come to you about nothing else. It won't even make no damn difference. Because you know your audience, as somebody said, you know your audience. You know your audience. Yeah. Go ahead, man.
Well, my family knows me. Like, they know how I am. I'll be then drop the bomb and I'll be rolling out. They like, hey, we calling you on the highway. I ain't answering the phone till I get to where I'm going home and this, that, and the other. But you brought up another point. So can we talk about Alive, like you just said, and talking with a man and trying to get him to see a different perspective other than his own?
You mean the abuser?
No sexual abuse, none of that. Relationship.
What you want to talk about?
Because you just said that you will argue more with a man.
Yeah, like somebody I like, because I noticed I always have to tell people I'm not the type to argue with like a female about he said, she said mess, like this mess we're talking about. Once I've been in the hole and I see what's going on, I know who I can and can't say something to. So if I see you aided a person for 30, 40 years, what is it I'm getting ready to come to you and say, especially if I've already said something to you, you see where I'm going? Then I know there's nothing I'm going to say to you today as an adult or 2 years, 3 years down that's going to be anything of relevance. You already let me know you with the shit. You feel what I'm saying? But with a guy, my method is a little bit different because if I like a man and let's just say I'm interested or I may not be interested, it just depends. If I just want to be like, well, I tried to tell you this or you didn't hear me, woo. But at some point, Queen, she will just back off with that situation too. I'm just saying certain situations, I just don't argue stuff. I tend to only maybe banter back if I am interested in somebody and maybe they misunderstood something I said and I'm trying to get my point across. But then at some point, if I feel like I can't reach them or whatever, then yeah, I'll fall off and just I'll leave it alone.
So that's the topic I was saying.
I guess what I'm trying to say is I don't chase women.
Right. And
That's not disappointing. I don't argue with
women chasers out there. I'm just not one of those.
I don't argue with women. That's something I don't do. I don't argue with a woman. But a man, if I'm interested or I'm trying to see where he's coming from or whatever, or I'm trying to make my point across, I may banter a little bit. But then at some point, if I see, okay, he's not trying to hear where I'm coming from, then I just leave it alone. I don't say nothing to his ass either. I just say, okay, well, I ain't gonna say nothing else to him because he's not really on my level, whatever. But like this subject matter we were talking about.
Nah, I don't want to talk about that.
These people know what's been going on. Ain't no saying nothing to their ass. I'm just keeping it real. Because they've been knowing. So what you trying to say? You want to talk about something else, Nay? That what you trying to tell me?
Yeah, I was trying to say that, and I wish the people that was in the chat, I can't see the chat whatsoever, but I wish the people that was in it the other night was in it when Yo Ignore Game was on 10.
What you mean?
Oh, Queen, we be in the chat clowning. Like, it'd be me, Pepper, Seven of Life, Summer Nights, Ruby Ray.
What were y'all doing? What night was that? Look,
it was Gulf Coast. It was Gulf Coast. I think Carolina girl.
Well, what you want to talk about? Y'all trying to keep the Queen up because the Queen got a lot going on right now. So what?
I know we want. I
ain't been on because I can't really tell y'all when I'm gonna be on because I got some stuff I'm trying to take care of right now. So I decided to come back on tonight because I posted that video.
Well, I think I can't see the chat, but I think we all want to come back and talk about something lighter so we can act crazy.
Like what? Throw it out.
Anything, because we be in there clowning in the chat like the one night you was ignoring us, it was with pork chops and gravy, but I ain't gonna bring them up again.
What? I wasn't ignoring y'all. I just know why I'm gonna respond to that. Think about what you're saying.
I know, but it was hilarious. I don't know. You said you go back because I'm gonna go back and listen and look at the chat.
I wouldn't respond to because my thing was he wasn't talking about nothing. So what?
He said he was better than Pookie and Ray Ray. They ain't got nothing on him.
I don't remember that. But it's been the days. I don't remember that. But
no, you have to go back and read the chat. That's comedy. Like
it's disrespectful to keep coming in the chat saying stuff to them on a live and just keep going on and on.
But
and
he
on.
said he was only talking to you. I'm just talking to
that first time, Well, okay, but like I told him in a second, like, okay, you're rude, okay, because I'm on a live. I don't have time for this. I'm trying to engage. That's my job. I bring a topic.
He thought it was everydayshenanigans.com.
Saying, oh God, say what?
He thought it was everydayshenanigans.com.
What the point is? But I'm live. I have to engage with you all, whether you're on the panel, whether you're in the chat. And I try to tell people that multitasking can get tricky. You understand? Then I got to watch the trolls. All that people don't understand that. So then you come in, doing all this extra. We be good together. And Negro, you is a picture and a name.
I'm gonna hit you up on the private chat in another chat on another video.
Yeah, right. But Queen been rolling. Queen ain't letting you even comment because, like I said, I got my eye on some things. So this is why I got a mechanism right now that I'm working with. Why y'all can't comment because there's some things that I got.
And I've been noticing that, but I've been taking my own little notes and stuff. But I ain't know, I can't be over. I don't want to get blocked because it's not personal.
But see, the things that people understand is, like I said, I don't want to keep repeating myself in every live. There's a lot of things going on. Right. I'm knocking it out the box.
Right. As it should, because I've been paying attention.
Right. This is my way of watching certain things. That's why the comments are off. There's a reason for everything that I do.
Yeah, and it's a good thing because I see it working. You blocked whoever that was earlier, tried to come in here and say whatever they said, and they gone. So it's definitely a good thing.
But guess what? But guess what, Nay?
What?
They still was hanging in there.
They ain't got nothing else to do but let them.
That's okay.
Let them be your motivators because they in there like that other lady the other night was talking smack about Air Force coming on here and stuff. A man shouldn't say this. No, girl. Let me say no.
Well, Unc ain't going nowhere.
Right, exactly.
Let me make that known to anybody in here trolling or whatever you want. Air Force is not going nowhere. The only time Air Force will get gone is when Queen removes him. That is
right,
the
but I'm like,
only way.
when you call them out on it, they want to switch the narrative. And I'm not bamboozled. I'm not easily tricked. But I'm like, let me not say anything because Night Owl, Crystal, and Melissa be on me. That's
my baby. Air Force One ain't going nowhere damn well. So you can kick all you want.
Majority of women, we need a man's perspective, and
well,
he
you
gives
still want a man's perspective. Why would you want what a woman's got to say all the time? I love to hear what a man has to say.
Some of them liquors, but I ain't gonna say nothing.
That's the reason why my brother is not on the live tonight, because you would not have liked to hear what the fuck he had to say about boys and teachers. Because we talked tonight before I went live, and I said, "Oh no, I cannot have you on the live because I'd have everybody calling in cussing me."
Yeah, but I'm glad you're cleaning it up.
Because he's, like you said, guys think different.
Exactly.
They think different.
Total Night Owl husband came in there and shook everybody up. We like,
what? Oh my God.
I was like, oh Lord.
Well, look, I'm 3 hours 10 minutes in, ladies. You got another subject, or I'm calling it a night. So say something now. It's 12:31 Eastern.
I said another one. Okay, let's just do it. Okay, let's start with
now. What you got?
Okay, so let's just start it with what did I say? Relationships or whatever, and getting a man.
That damn lady all over the place.
No, I'm not all over the place. It came out.
You gotta tell me what, Nene.
I'm trying my word. Let me get my thoughts out. My thoughts are slow. Okay. They're scattered. Okay. But like getting so in relationships, having like you said, you'll argue with men, or not argue, but you'll debate with them or give them a little bit more than you will with women. So let's just talk about that in your relationship. Communication in your relationship. Communication in your relationship. When is it time to say, let's go, or to carry on?
Okay, what you think about that, Night Owl?
That's the topic.
That sounds good to me.
When it hit the road?
Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come? Yeah. Because I told you my man can't stand I'll be on live. I don't even tell him. He would have a fit.
Listen to this. Listen, I'm going to whisper. What do you think about the guy who sends the naked selfie?
Huh?
Ooh,
I don't want to see nobody because I'm not interested in that.
Yes, ma'am.
Send me a selfie of your bank. Send me something in your account.
Look, the right one, yes.
Queen don't have to mess with you, girl. Let me tell you something. If I can
the right one, yes.
That come on my social media, you be like, "Oh, Queen, shut your mouth."
The right one, yeah.
You know my brother. Let me tell you about my brother, the one y'all saw up here. One day I told him about a year ago. I told him, I said, "Do you know I'm on this date site?" I said, "Bubby, you just won't believe the stuff these men be sending me." And I said, "They be sending me naked pictures of themselves. Do you know that Negro went off?" He said, "What you mean? Sending naked pictures of themselves for what? Why a man gotta send you naked pictures? That's all he got to do all day." I said, "Damn, calm down." You get it?
Yes, I'm for that. I'm for
now when the time is right.
He about to have a stroke because somebody sent his social naked pictures. He said, "That means he ain't got nothing to damn do with his damn self. He won't send me some damn of his penis. The hell wrong with him?" And I said, you know what? I started thinking, oh yeah, because you want to give the real deal, do you not?
Now, sometimes it's appropriate.
I'm dead. Go ahead.
That's a good one.
Girl, wait a minute. Because let me tell you, I saw something recently. I said my eyebrows about to burn off Satan. Ooh, shut your mouth.
I keep telling you, I need my eyebrows now.
Look, I got pretty eyebrows. So people ask me that all the time. "Do you do your eyebrows?" No, Queen got them naturally. All she got to do is just rub them with a pointer. She ain't got to put no gel, no oil sheen, no.
No,
so let's talk about these pictures.
Look, let me tell you something. Queen has seen some things. Jeepers creepers.
Bangs and things.
So be careful with the pictures in your phones, ladies, because one time I was talking to a man and I accidentally sent him a picture. I was asleep, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
He texted me the next day like, "Hey, Nene, you okay? You sent me a picture of a penis last night." What?
Oh,
What?
yeah. I know where you're going with that. Yeah. Okay, I got you.
I'm like, I'm glad you willing to continue to talk to me.
What?
But yeah, night owl. I had to go back to
So
my
what
phone.
you trying to say? So what you trying to say? Somebody had stolen your account or something?
No, I mean, I sent him a picture of another man's penis in the middle of the night. Don't know why, don't know how.
Nate, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why the hell you do that?
I don't
You
know.
don't know.
I'm glad it wasn't my dad.
See, we don't know Nate. That damn Nate. Something wrong with Nate ass. What the hell? What the
Well,
hell?
how many you had in there?
I thought somebody had pretended to be Nate. It was a fake account or something. You know
No, it was my phone. I had to go back and look like, oh, I don't even know. Where
okay, so Nate, had you been drinking that night? I don't understand where you coming from.
I learned something. I was having health issues and I didn't, I found out. Well, no, I found out that in the middle of the night, I was a sleepwalker and doing all kinds of stuff in the middle of the night. Yeah, I was a sleepwalker and I didn't know
it. It's funny you would mention it because I've been trying to figure out for years how the hell my nightgown ended up at the end of the bed and ain't nobody never me. Shut your mouth, Saint.
I woke up with a bra with tags on it that I didn't buy.
I have over the years woke up and my gown was off. And I wondered, how did the gown get off in my sleep? Do you understand what I'm saying?
So
you got to think about it. If the gown is at least thigh length, you had to sit up in the bed to pull the gown off. You see where I'm going? Yeah. How the hell did it get off? That was years ago. Girl, that used to freak me out. Like, wait a minute. Did you sit up in your sleep and pull your gown off? You got hot or something? Man, that has really scared me. And I remember one time I was a couple of years ago, I was asleep and I thought, obviously, I don't know if I was dreaming or what. I thought somebody had knocked on the door. I ran from my bed to that front door like, somebody was like, boom, boom, boom. But what scared me, I was standing there, don't even remember how I got to the front door. That's what spooked me because I was like, how the hell did you get from that bed to the front door that quick? And then I look out the peephole, there's nobody out there. So what I have to ask myself is, what made me sprint to this front door and there's nobody there? And I've been doing this shit for years. Mm-hmm. This knock in my sleep. I did it the other day. Jumped up out of the bed and went to the front door, looked out the peephole. There's nobody there. I don't like that. That shit scares the hell out of me because I've been doing that for years. This thinking that somebody's knocking on the door and it's morning time, and I jump up and stand at the door, and there's nobody out there. There's nobody.
Well, needless to say, I was being seen by the doctor and all that stuff, but then I figured it out. But
Air Force, shut up. How I'm nasty because I pulled my gown off of my own damn bed.
I knew you were coming.
Look at my house. Oh, it's so crazy. Go ahead.
I woke up one night. I woke up the next day in a bra with tags on it that did not fit me because it ain't my size. So.
Say what?
Yes. Girl. I didn't know if I went to a store. I didn't know, but
no, you had her luggage. Now you're talking about leaving the house, getting dressed, getting in the car, and all that.
I figured it out because my cousin had her luggage in my basement, and she's way smaller than me. So and I was already seeing the doctor. So then I told the doctor, I started figuring it out. Like, okay, this is why my legs hurt all day because I'm walking up 3 flights of stairs all night long.
In your sleep.
In my sleep. So
scary.
Yeah, and I figured that out because I was at work.
I've seen.
I figured that out because I was at work.
Down the street.
Huh?
They shown that a guy, they had some cases of people allegedly killed people in their sleep. The wife or something in their sleep. Oh, girl, you're scaring the hell out of me now.
No, but it was. No, we figured it out, and me and my doctor, we dealt with it and all that other stuff. But at the time, like I would be at work and I would be sleeping every break. Like I'm gonna take 15 minutes, but I didn't, and my legs would hurt all the time. But I was walking up 3 flights of stairs all night long, washing clothes in the middle of the night, all kind of stuff. So
you need medicated, honey, because that.
Well, no, that was the thing. It was the medication that was doing it.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you needed something to, I guess, make you sleep all night is what I'm saying.
No, that was it. I was on Ambien, and that makes you have a different reaction. Different people have a different reaction.
Wow.
So when I finally started figuring it out, because I was cooking in the middle of the night, and I have a gas stove.
Oh, that's
my pilot.
Yes, with gas. Oh.
Yeah. And I figured it out because I went to work and I had blisters on my chest because I sleep. I ain't have no. I would sleep in my clothes, in whatever I sleep in. And then I got to work and I had blisters on my chest. When I got home,
well, where the blisters come from, Nene?
Grease popping on the stove in the middle of the goddamn night.
Satan, I'm dead.
So that's when we figured it out.
That's that damn crazy ass Nene. You know, Nene like to get crunk.
No, like so. Yeah, it was crazy, and so I had to get off of it. I told my doctor, like,
girl, you're killing me right now.
I've heard that people have said that, but I never figured it out until I had the blisters. And when I got home, I had grease all over my stove, and my stove is white and clean. So we figured it out.
Wow.
But anywho, the topic was so don't take that Ambien.
Humpy said I had the scariest experiences on Ambien. Like a lot of people are allergic to it. Okay, Jesus, that's well. At least I know now. Okay, said her husband was gonna leave and go to work at 3 a.m. on that Ambien. Hell no, you don't take that and go to no job.
You don't know it. You don't realize it at all. And I was on this for like 3 months, but I would see weird. Like I said, I woke up in a bra that I couldn't fit that had a tag on it.
Girl, I'm trying not to laugh, and it's not funny, but that shit fucked up.
Right. But then I also, it's crazy because I'm like, where did bra come from? Did I get it from a store? Why is it so little? My goofy butt that put it
just sitting there, wasn't it? I ain't gonna say that. I would have been like, what?
Let me tell you something about the Queen. I'm a big girl, so that little bra would have never got on. It's been laying in the floor.
When got past my shoulder.
No bra doing that.
Man, when I tell you, I still got the bra to this day, just to have it for a souvenir. Because I'm like, it's got tags on it.
Look what Aquarius said. Okay, I'm dead now. You can sleepwalk and eat and make phone calls and have sex and don't remember the next day. That Aquarius.
On Ambien.
Okay, I'm done.
No, that's the truth. That's the truth on Ambien.
Well,
no, literally.
On the balcony then if you got all that going on.
No, literally. That's why I said when I sent that text, I didn't only send that text. That's the only text I'm talking about.
Yeah, God.
And all my friends was checking on me the next day, like, girl, you sent me a picture of Carlton dancing. Carlton? Who is Carlton? The Fresh Prince dude. I don't even know how to get. That was when gifts and all that first came out, and people like, I didn't know how to get that stuff, but it was on my phone.
Look, well, I learned something new.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna come back and I guess that'll be the next topic. Y'all.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm scared to see where this check will go.
Yeah, it's Ambien. People that take that and you.
So what? So the next topic is what exactly? What makes you leave? What makes you go? What?
You said about receiving the news.
Say what, Night Owl?
What Night Owl say?
The news.
Huh?
Oh, the nudie, them balls.
What would make a man send a naked selfie?
Yep.
Well, I asked the person. He just said, no, I didn't send that to nobody else. And I said, yeah, you did.
That's in his phone. But hold on, though.
I was saying something so bad, but just in case that person watches the live, that was something somebody did way back in the winter 2020 that just I can't even repeat.
But what it look like? What it do? What it look like it was gonna do?
Nene, really?
Yeah.
Night Owl, really? Did you just say what you just said on my live?
What Night Owl say?
Nothing.
What you say, Night Owl?
Nothing. You're nasty.
What you say, Night Owl?
You're a nasty hooker. She nasty. You're a nasty hooker.
What Night Owl say? How do I find the chat in this thing?
All I can say is cry, cry, cry.
He had a little. You cried or he cried?
Baby, all I can say is
you liked it, you danced it.
Whatever it was, whatever I like, all I can say is shut your mouth.
You like that thing.
All I can say is shut your mouth.
It must have had a hook.
Wow. Ooh,
Night Owl, did you
look like the show. Wait a minute.
Oh, Night Owl said a hook. To the right, to the left. Oh man, y'all don't know about that hook in the chat. Y'all probably dealing with them straight dudes. You gotta get that hook.
But the thing is, you ain't gonna know what somebody got till you get with them, right?
Yeah, that's why you deny.
You can preview before.
You get down there
preview before.
You might get down there and see some baby fat, all kind of stuff. You don't know.
Baby
you
fat
can
on the
preview
peen
before.
Baby fat on the peen?
No, I mean they might have a little just extra fat on their tummy or
that's why you ask for a preview before.
You never know what you're gonna see when you get downtown.
Sure. Send me a preview
I ain't seen
snap
no
before.
baby fat down there.
What you
A preview before. You gotta go through a pre-screening.
If you got baby fat, then you need to go to Babies R Us because we ain't hanging out. I ain't fucking with no baby fat. Nah.
Jesus.
I don't like no flabby skin and no mustard dick.
Humbly melanated. Don't add to the confusion. Please stop.
Baby fat, like what? If they got man boobs,
yeah. I don't want you looking like me down up under your clothes.
But that's baby fat.
Like, I can't hear you, man. You sound like you're in water.
And we don't want it mustard either.
We don't want what now?
You know what? It's been nice talking to you all.
What night
Golly. I'm dead. Oh, get off my line, please. We done went from one thing to the other. That's why y'all can't talk to me. Y'all be all over the place. Jesus. Man.
That's what I'm saying in the chat. We be going in, but what
okay. So what's the subject before I clock out of here, ladies? I'm already 3:26. Huh?
Receiving the nude, the selfie nude.
Should you send a selfie?
Should you send a note? No.
Go ahead.
Mail.
Should you send a selfie with a, what you call it down there?
A nude.
No, you said something else.
No, we can't say that on the title, baby.
You said it.
I didn't say that.
You said some extra skin or something. I don't know what you said.
I'm talking in general. That you don't know what you're gonna get when you get a selfie is what I'm saying.
And don't send no one ball picture either. If the other one didn't fall, don't send it.
Y'all stupid. I ain't never heard. How you gonna send a picture of one ball? That makes no sense.
Because I had a friend that was sucking on one ball and didn't know it. Like, how you not know if the second ball was still up there?
You know what?
She called me.
I understand what you're saying. Nay, go to sleep because you're not making.
He was missing one.
Huh?
He was missing one.
She sounds far away. Nay, where are you? Are you in the tunnel? I don't understand.
I'm not in no tunnel. I'm in my house.
Yeah, but you're echoing and you sound like you're far away. I don't understand what you're saying.
Can people? How Night Owl hear me? Hold on.
I'm saying you sound far away from me. Aquarius 63. Are you dead? Because I've been dead.
Who dead? Ain't nobody dead.
I'm very dead. And humbly melanated. I didn't went and laid in the coffin and got back up. I don't know what the hell they're talking about.
Don't be no Wayne or whatever that dude you talk, John Wayne Gacy or whatever his name is, because he got that coffin.
Okay.
He did.
How did you show one testicle? Please explain to me.
Because the other one didn't drop.
Okay. You know what?
Can you hear me better now?
It's been nice talking to you all. I want to thank you.
Okay, I'll put my headphones in.
This is Everyday Shenanigans. I want to thank you for joining me.
Tara gonna call in. Because she get two balls all the time.
With the
look, Night Owl. Thank you for joining me. I want to thank you all because I'm dead right now. I don't understand what I just heard, but anyway, Air Force.
What'd he say? I can't see it.
Because I don't understand what she just said. Because I'm trying to not think about what she just said because I think I've seen what she said. So I'm going to pretend.
You have a deficiency.
Night Owl.
Air Force seeing one ball.
Don't help her, Night Owl.
Hey, that don't mean they shooting blanks though. But let's talk. We can do it on the next one.
I gotta think of a topic because I'm confused at what I want to say on the next live.
Just do soccer
confused.
balls or something. I don't know.
Would you date a person that's seeing your naked nude?
That's a good one.
Can you put naked in the topic?
Bare nude? I don't know how you want to say it.
Yeah.
Birthday suits. Put birthday suits in it.
Okay. I want to thank you all for joining me. Join me on the next live part 2, Everyday Shenanigans. I'm out of here. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Love you all. Bye. Oh, God.